There you go.
Welcome, everyone, to Heavy on Lakers. I am Brandon Scoopy Robinson, senior writer at Heavy.com, here with Ben Duty, managing editor at Heavy.com. Ben, what's going on?
I'm pretty, as we said on our preview earlier, I'm fired up to be watching some basketball. We have the end of the yearly game on right now. Jazz Pelicans, Lakers Clippers coming up. And look, I mean, this is maybe the best place to start. I remember early on in the pandemic in March and April, every single time you and I talked on the phone, I asked you some variation of, hey, man, are we going to get a season? Are we going to get a season? And the answers varied from, I have no freaking clue, to, man, it's starting to look dicey. It's at some point. There were times we didn't think we were going to get here. And look, man, this is going to be a different kind of basketball, but it's like live sports. It's the best two teams in the Western Conference. And it's a pretty it's kind of a surreal moment, don't you think, that you're finally back here after all this?
It just feels weird to be seeing NBA basketball in July. June is typically our cutoff, and the NBA restart is upon us. Watching as I'm looking at the Pelicans and Utah Jazz game in the fourth quarter, about 2-minute game or 2-point game. But I think what's interesting about this is, how do we get here? March 11th, Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz was scheduled to play in a game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And what ended up happening was, and it's a 4-point game actually, 96-92, New Orleans Pelicans up by 4 with 6 minutes.
You gotta watch it, Scoop. The league's gonna come after us if we give too much play-by-play. We'll make some vague references to what's going on. I'm kidding. I think the score is allowed.
Okay, so how we got here, Rudy Gobert was the first NBA player to test positive with COVID-19, and from March until yesterday, we have not had an official NBA game. We have had some Major League Baseball, and it's been a tumultuous turn of events in sports, entertainment, and more. I can't remember the last time I went to the movies. Do you?
Dude, I go to the movies maybe like once every 3 years anyway. The last time I went to the movies, I mean, it was probably in like 2016. So I'm not a good mark of that. I can tell you the last time I went to a basketball game. I can tell you the last time I went to an NBA game. I can tell you the last time I went to a college basketball game. Can you? I'll give you those two. The last basketball game I went to. I'll give a brief shout out to my alma mater, Fairfield University. Mm-hmm. I took my kids to the last ever on-campus game at this gym called Alumni Hall. Mm-hmm. It was the Fairfield Niagara women's game, and it was on March 7th. And I remember thinking, like, this is cool. We've got the MAC tournament in a few days. We've got the NCAA tournament. Coronavirus is going on, but that's okay. We'll make it through probably. And that game was 4 days before the Gobert game that you referenced. The last NBA game I went to, which was the only NBA game I went to this year, was Bucks. I called you after this game. It was Bucks Sixers in Milwaukee with like the most monstrous. It's not the only triple double I've seen in person, but Giannis had an easy triple double. And I'll look up the box score, but it was something ridiculous, like 34 points, 20 rebounds, and 12 assists or something. So that was the last NBA game I went to. And I was like, I definitely want to get to a couple more games. I haven't been to a Laker game this year. I haven't been to a Celtics game this year. And that was it. That was in February. So how about you? When was the last basketball game you were at?
The last NBA game was the NBA All-Star game in February in Chicago at the United Center. Obviously, tribute to Kobe Bryant and his daughter, as well as, Gianna. Before that, I was at all the events, rookie game, slam dunk contest. Before that, last NBA game I was at was Sixers Bulls in February. That weekend, I was at Sixers Grizzlies. And then the game before that was Kobe's, the Lakers and Sixers the night that LeBron broke Kobe's scoring record at Wells Fargo Center. Last college game I went to was my college alma mater, Eastern University. St. David's, Pennsylvania, right down the street from Villanova. I forgot who they played, but I was there just visiting because I was out there covering the Sixers, and that had two home games that weekend. So I definitely love seeing basketball. But to be honest with you, Ben, I was enjoying the time off from basketball. I love basketball, but basketball does consume my life a lot. So, to kind of be away from it was cool. I've been to one Lakers game this season. It was Lakers Jazz at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. It was a cool game, and it was actually the Lakers' first win of that season. They struggled early on against the Clippers that week. They played the Clippers in the home opener at Staples Center. The Clippers were the home team. The Lakers played the Jazz at home and beat a young Jazz team. The Jazz and the Lakers, in my opinion, have done a lot of growing this year, either through death, pandemics, and just life. So it's interesting to see where we are right now. Basketball is here in July.
You were tired. You enjoyed the break. To what extent were you still clamoring to come back after a while?
Basketball you're never not working in basketball. So, for me, even though there were no games going on, you're still on the phone with agents, players, front office people, people's parents. So to me, the only difference between the pandemic and not the pandemic was the travel.
But dude, the games are still fun. I mean, I think we'll see what happens. We'll see how tonight goes. You got to have a little bit of adrenaline flowing for an actual game. No?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it feels like opening night in October 22nd. It's in July. So to me, it's cool. I've always enjoyed opening nights since like 1992 as a kid. So for me, it's cool. I've enjoyed the break.
Yeah, I hear you. What are you drinking? We'll do, and then we'll take any drink. We'll take a roll call on what anyone's drinking during this game. What are you drinking and what are you wearing? Because you got an awesome shirt on.
So I'm drinking a mango slushie.
Okay.
No in it. I am wearing a shirt that says "No Sources" in red. And
Hashtag no sources. Yeah.
No Sources and ESPN lettering.
There you go.
There you go.
Very cool.
You got on a heavy hat.
You get the heavy hat. We're going to have hey, our boy Landon Buford is in. What's up, Landon? All right, Landon jumps into the comments. Basketball writer, friend. We could call him a friend of the show. I think, right? This show has existed for about 14 minutes, but we'll call him friend of the show if that's cool. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. All right, friend of the show, Landon Buford is with us. Yeah. So we get heavy hats. We're gonna have some heavy on Lakers merchandise before the end of the season, I hope. And when we get that if I'm on the show, that'll be the heavy on Lakers or the other team gear will be what I'm wearing. In the meantime, you get the heavy shirt, and then this isn't a Lakers shirt or a heavy hat.
Yeah.
But, I took the only purple shirt that I have.
I do have a purple and gold bracelet on.
Okay. There you go. Scoop on our preview earlier. And check out our if you really can't get enough of this stuff, you did about a 15-minute preview show, and Scoop was sporting a Pistons jersey. So we'll see if we can get we'll see who else we can get on here and on the show. I got a couple IPAs in the fridge, but it's a long day. It's a long night ahead, so I still have some iced coffee. No booze in the iced coffee for the
no drinking on the job.
Yeah, you can have a beer during the show if you want to. I'm okay with it. But for now, I got my you can drink whatever you want, but I've got the iced coffee for now, and you got the mango slush. All right, yeah, okay. So all right, man. So Landon did a good job. I'm a little embarrassed by this. I get the point total almost exactly right on the Giannis stat line of that Sixers game.
36 points, 20 rebounds, 6 assists.
But I botched the assist. Well, actually, it was not a triple-double. And my bad, it wasn't even that close to a triple-double because he only had 6 assists. But I get the 20 rebounds right. I think I said – go back to the tape, everybody. But I think I said he had something like 34, 20, and 12. So I was way off on the assists. But he went for 36 and 20. And I don't remember if I'm not sure, Scoop, I've ever been in another basketball game where I saw somebody get 20 rebounds. I feel like I don't know. I mean, I'm working through who have I seen in person, who have I seen a lot of in person who was like a candidate to get 20 rebounds from like mid-major college to high major college to the NBA.
You definitely have seen. You're saying live or period?
Oh, I've definitely seen a million of them on TV. Not that it's that common. I'm trying to think if that Giannis game is the only time I've seen 20 guy get 20 boards in person. So the most dominant. I'm curious for your take on this, Scoop, as a guy who's watched a ton of hoops. Our pal here, or Rose, says he's here for the game, not for you to talk. Well, you can mute us and put the sound on the game if you want to. No, we're not. Yeah, okay. So let's be clear. Yeah, we're not. We're not showing the game. Nor are we trying to trick people into saying we're showing the game. We are not showing the game.
Coming.
But I'll tell you what. We probably have a streaming guide that I can drop into the comments here. No, we're not showing the game. The game is on TNT. So you got to have cable or a streaming service. We can't. I wish we could show that. I wish we could show the effing game. We can't do that.
King Dirt, or Rose Surge. Thank you guys for coming by. Stop cursing at us.
Yeah, please. Let me get you at least a streaming guide here, as I appreciate. Of course, everyone wants to watch the game. I get that.
I have a streaming guide if you want it.
Well, let me see if I get. I want to see if I get a streaming guide in heavy that would walk you through where you could. And I do have it. So, look, this is going to prompt you. Our boy J.R. DeGroot, who's on one of our Lakers writers, wrote this, and I'll drop it in the comments here. Look. This will require you to sign up for something, but most of these services or some of these services have free trials. So you want to watch the game, you can click through, sign up for a service, get the free trial, and then if you want to go whatever other alternate methods you have, then I'm not going to discourage that. It's not my job to do that, but you're on your own on that stuff.
Can you see my reflection? He said, "Can you show your reflection through the glasses?"
Oh, there you go. All right. And let me make sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we gotta. So 9:00. We're still wrapping up Pelicans Jazz. So this game will tip after that. This is a pretty good audience, Scoop. We got 50 people on the stream. I mean, this is pretty good.
Appreciate you guys stopping by. Thank you for that. Clifton Marty, what's going on, sir? Hood Rich Dre, Lakers heavy on Lakers. Got a good group of people in here. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Big Will 34, thank you for that assist. Trey the Truth was good. Yeah, man. So one of the things about the Lakers Clippers game tonight that I find pretty interesting is those who aren't playing, more specifically on the Clipper side. They'll be without Montrezl Harrell. They'll also be without Patrick Beverly. And they'll also be without Lou Williams. As we all know, Lou Williams went to Magic City. On his getting ready to go back to Orlando after going to see his grandfather, go to the funeral of his grandfather, pardon me. And it's interesting because when you look at the Los Angeles Lakers specifically, when they began their season back in October 22nd, they were without Kyle Kuzma as well as Rajon Rondo. And I find that significant because many people were looking to write off the Lakers after the Lakers lost to the Clippers. And, the Lakers, it's been a pretty much a journey this season because they've been trying to find a rhythm, trying to find that right trade, trying to get that workout to happen with various players, finally getting the workout and then deciding who's who. And then, the coronavirus pandemic hit. And right before that, they made some signings. The Lakers signed Dion Waiters, guy that earlier this season had some issues with the Miami Heat, his former team. And Rich Paul, who is Waiters' agent as well as J.R. Smith's agent, convinced the Lakers as well as as well as Rob Pelinka to sign him. And, he didn't play a game. And then the Lakers proceeded to cut DeMarcus Cousins. And then that created a Morris twin sighted with the Lakers. And then, the pandemic happened. During the pandemic and deciding what was going to eventually happen with the season, Avery Bradley, who has been collaborating with various people within the NBA's Players Association. He and Kyrie Irving of the Brooklyn Nets, are on the same page as it relates to social justice and more. Avery Bradley did cite the fact that his son was asymptomatic. Okay, Landon just said as of an hour ago, Patrick Beverly is playing. Thank you for that heads up. But as it relates to, Avery Bradley deciding not to play, the Lakers made the decision to sign J.R. Smith. And J.R. Smith has had has played well in scrimmages. The last game the Lakers had against the Washington Wizards, their starting lineup included Alex Caruso, J.R. Smith, Dion Waiters, Quentin Cook, as well as Danny Green. Ironically, all former Cleveland Cavaliers teammates with LeBron James. And the Los Angeles Lakers have produced, have scored, and they're looking to take this show in the bubble against the Los Angeles Clippers tonight, the home team. So very interesting tonight. The Lakers are without Rajon Rondo, who'll be out 6 to 8 weeks. He'll look to come back. In the meantime, the Lakers are gelling. LeBron James looking to chase another championship and to add to the mantle in his second season with the Los Angeles Lakers. Ben, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here. Muted myself for a minute, but I'm with you. I'll be with you all night. Don't worry.
Good. A lot of talk.
We've had it's been an eventful day. We had a 5-year-old birthday party. We had to usher my kids from the birthday party to bath time, bedtime. I won't bore you with the full play-by-play, but we had some aftershocks of that process that I was dealing with.
Wow.
Here I am.
Here you are. There you are. But yeah, definitely an eventful day. While you guys are here, please make sure to check out my last 2 columns over at heavy.com. I wrote one today, earlier today, as a primer for tonight's Lakers-Clippers game. Jared Dudley spoke to this 7-Footers podcast with Ryan Hollins and Brendan Haywood about the Lakers-Clippers rivalry. You can check that out at heavy.com. Today on my podcast, Scoopy Radio, the Scoopy Radio podcast, I had T. Morant, father of Memphis Grizzlies point guard John Morant, on, and we talked about the Rookie of the Year award. And, he said that if Ja does not win the NBA's Rookie of the Year award, that's laughable, and compared it to Aaron Gordon not winning the slam dunk contest this year in Chicago. Remember, during the slam dunk contest, Aaron Gordon, some say, was cheated by Dwayne Wade voting for Terrence Jones Jr., a member of the Miami Heat. So that's interesting. And but yeah, T. Morant talked at length about Ja and just Rookie of the Year. So it's going to be very interesting. And a lot of the different conversations of Defensive Player of the Year in the NBA. Anthony Davis is someone who has shared with me that that's his goal. That's what he cares about. That and winning a championship. And then the last week or so, people have been talking about the MVP. Ben, from your perspective, do you think this is the NBA's MVP, or are you going along the lines of LeBron James?
So my prior on this, Scoop, is I think LeBron should be the MVP. I think it's mostly bullshit when LeBron isn't the MVP every single year. Like even the great Warriors teams, it's like if you took, I'm sure there are good metrics on this, like if you took LeBron off of his team would be in some case, his team would range from complete garbage the first time around. Let's walk through LeBron from start to finish during his career, right? The Cavs without LeBron the first time around would be barely a playoff team. In fact, probably not a playoff team. Probably not a playoff team. He took them to the finals.
Right.
If you had, you wouldn't have had Bosh there without LeBron. But hypothetically, if you had Bosh and Wade without LeBron, it's a really good team. Definitely a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even an Eastern Conference contender, but not a 4-time Eastern Conference champion, 2-time NBA champion. And then the Cavs, the second time around, some good players, maybe they're a playoff team, but they're not what they were. So like every single one of those years, pardon me, what does LeBron have? 3 MVPs? How many MVPs does he have?
I think 3.
Landon, you can look this up. Landon's been our stat guy here. He's fact-checking us on everything, including letting me know that I messed up Giannis' stat line. So anyway, however many MVPs LeBron has, he should have like twice as many. He's been the best player in the sport he's been the best player in the sport since like 2007 or 2008. But this year, I think Giannis is the MVP. I think Giannis, like I was thinking
4 times.
It's 4. I'm going to say I should go back and look at this. I bet you could find 7 years or more where LeBron should have been the MVP.
He should have got it. He should have got it in 2017.
We could go through here. We go through here year by year, the years that LeBron hasn't won the MVP, and I can make a case for why LeBron should be the MVP. But like I was thinking about this a lot because everyone's making like their finals picks, talking about who they see making deep playoff run, who's going to the finals, etc. And there's all this talk about the chalk is Lakers Bucks, right? LeBron against Giannis. And I was thinking like, I don't know if I can remember like a superstar on superstar finals matchup that's of that caliber. And then I think the reason I feel that way is Giannis, and part of it maybe Scoop is because they're kind of similar players, right? LeBron's a better shooter by far, but they're both like big, tall, athletic dudes who can run the floor, take it to the hole, dunk on people, rebound, assist, like all that. So similarities, although LeBron is probably more complete player.
Utah just won the game 106-104. Sorry about that.
Good game, by the way. This is a good game. And kind of an important game, I think, for the Pelicans, right? And I guess for the Jazz too, for seeding stuff. But anyway, on the Giannis thing, that basic question of what does this team look like without this star player? I know this is probably more complicated than I'm painting it right now at the top of my head. In fact, I remember seeing a stat at some point last year where like the Bucks were better for long stretches when Giannis wasn't on the floor. Yeah. But like, if Giannis is not on that team, I mean, they're the best regular season record by far. I saw ESPN's BPI projection has them with a 71% chance to win the East right now. Like they're so dominant. If Giannis is not out there, I mean, they're not like that. So I think if I had to, and frankly, like I haven't even crunched a lot of numbers on this. I think if I had to crunch the numbers right now, I would vote for Giannis. Where would you be?
On the on the MVP this season?
Yeah, where would you be in the MVP?
I think Giannis is the MVP this season, and has only not been the MVP for 4 weeks. And LeBron was the MVP closing the before, by March 11th when the NBA shut down, LeBron was the MVP for a week. You saw him beat the Bucks. You saw him beat the Los Angeles Clippers. But I think that when it was all said and done throughout the course of the season, Giannis has been the MVP statistically. But the thing is that I'm torn because when you talk about LeBron James and what he's done for the league this year, particularly with his team, he leads the league in assists, 10.6 assists per game. Averages about 26.5 points per game for a 49-14 Los Angeles Lakers team. But I also think when you look at Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think the Bucks are still a good team without Giannis present. I think without Giannis present, the Bucks can still get to the second round easily. If the Lakers don't have LeBron, I don't know that they get past the first round.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Celtics. I'm looking forward to Celtics Bucks tomorrow. By the way,
It's a 4:00 game tomorrow, correct?
what's that?
That's a 4:00 game tomorrow, isn't it?
It is a 6:30 tip.
Mm-hmm.
6:30. Bucks by 4. The Bucks are technically the home team. Bucks by 4.5. We should go through here. I won't make you guys pick the whole playoff bracket, but give me your Western Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Finals, and Finals. And we want to hear from the commenters on this too.
J2 Savvy on YouTube said Giannis is in the East. F those statistics. Yeah, I think you bring up a valid point. But let's not act like the East still doesn't have decent teams. The Indiana Pacers has been a surprise team this year without Victor Oladipo at points during the season. The Nets were excited to watch at points until Kyrie went down twice. You look at the Philadelphia 76ers early in the season, Joel Embiid was an MVP candidate, not the MVP, was discussing MVP conversations. When you look at the Bucks, they've been talented, but at the same time, the Bucks did beat the Lakers in the regular season back in December, handily, convincingly. So keep that in consideration as well. Where's the game? In the chat, you'll notice that we gave you guys a guide, ways that you can stream it. Little Isaac, hope that you're having a good night and you enjoy the game, brother. And don't take your anger out on me. Enjoy the game, brother.
I'll drop the streaming guide, link for that streaming guide. Some of those options should be good for you. You're gonna have to sign up for stuff, but in some cases they're free trials.
The Lakers are kneeling during the playing of the national anthem.
It looks like the Clips are too, Scoop.
Well, it's the Clippers.
Yeah, looks like everybody is. Most of you guys probably have the stream on. You can see this, but kneeling, Black Lives Matter, T-shirts, arms locked, players, coaches. It's a moment there, man. I don't want to talk over it too much. That's definitely a moment. All right, so we're getting some comments. We're a couple minutes away from tip. Little late here. If you're joining us now, I assume the TV window obviously is a cause for that with the Jazz Pelicans game going a little late, and so we'll tip off a little after 9:20 here. Good comments here, and on predictions. So Matt Brown says Lakers versus Clippers in the West, Bucks and the Sixers in the East, then Lakers and Bucks. Matt, you can tell us who wins. I assume you're going Lakers to win, but let us know who wins. We want who's in the West, who's in the East, who's in the finals, then who wins the finals. And then going back to the comment about like Giannis' numbers against the East, I would buy that a little bit more if this was the East from like 2016, whereas like 2016, 2017. So like the year, the Isaiah Thomas, I'll give you an example, the Isaiah Thomas year in Boston where the Celtics were the one seed in the East. That's a weak Eastern Conference. I mean, that year, hats off to that Celtics team that won like 53 games. But like that was you knew that LeBron almost no matter what was coming out of there. Like that's not really the case. It almost shows. I think last year is pretty good evidence of that, right? That it's not the case where the Bucks. So go to last year. The Bucks have the best record in the sport in the regular season. they can't get out of the East because the Raptors beat them and the Raptors win the championship. Like, it's not like the Bucks lost to the Raptors in some fluke.
Yeah,
the Bucks lost because they were banged up in a bunch of injuries, and then the Raptors got swept by the Warriors when they got there. Like, the Bucks were the best team in the sport in the regular season. The Raptors are a better team in that playoff series, and then the Raptors are the better. The Raptors deserved to win the championship too once they got there. They were the better team in the finals.
Sure.
And the East was pretty deep. Beyond that too. The Celtics were kind of a mess, but they were okay. The Sixers were pretty good. The Pacers were pretty good. So I don't know that I buy that like Giannis is just playing against, a bunch of scrubs in the East. Is the West better than the East? I mean, I think the West is better than the East at the top. I mean, here's a question for you, Scoop. Who are the three best teams in the league? Like, I would think the answer to that is the Lakers, Clippers, and Bucks in some order. And my order would probably be the Lakers, then the Bucks, then the Clippers. But I do think you have two of the best three teams in the league in the West, so the West is better at the top. But I don't think the East is trash either.
I think the best team in the East, you're asking me the best four teams, period? Or just the best team in the best?
Who are the best teams in the league?
The best teams in the league: Lakers, Clippers, Bucks, Rap.
Our boy Ben says maybe Bucks or Lakers win. Yeah, I think that's the question. So the Lakers or the Bucks. I'll give you my picks here. The West is easy. The East is a little harder. Like, I think so in the West, I think it'll be Lakers, Clippers in the West Finals. I think it'll be I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I think it'll be a long series. Like, I could see that series going. It wouldn't surprise me if that series went 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
And it would not shock me if the Clippers won that series. But I don't think the Lakers are better by such a margin that they're definitely going to win that, especially when you have no home court, right? Granted, I know these two teams literally play on the same court in the regular season too, but there's no crowd advantage or whatever, right? So, like, I feel like in Lakers-Clippers scoop, Lakers in the gold gold jerseys. Again, we're not allowed to play-by-play, but I'll tell you the uniforms for anyone who's not having the gold for the Lakers and the home whites, if you want to call them that, for the Clips.
Home gold.
Yeah, home gold and the home white. No purple, no Lakers whites, and no black or blue for the Clips. But no, if you gave me Lakers and Clippers in a regular scenario with the Lakers having home court, I would say that game could get to 7. But if it gets to 7, I'd be really, really, really worried about the Clippers winning in Game 7 on the road. In this scenario, when the whole thing's at a neutral court, I think it's a 6 or 7 game series. I think the Lakers are a better team by a decent margin, so I'll pick the Lakers. If I have to name you an exact series and number of games, I'll give you Lakers in 7 over the Clips. And in the East, the Bucks are going to win. I'll go a little bit against the grain and say the Celtics find a way to get to the East Finals, but then they get slaughtered by the Bucks.
I think you're bringing up a good point about the Celtics. I think people very much so underestimate the Celtics because they haven't won anything yet. Like, the closest they came, meaning haven't won anything yet in the last couple of years. Obviously, we know what they did last decade with the Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen era Celtics team. But as it relates to,
they haven't won. They haven't really. I mean, there are a couple exceptions to this, but they haven't really won a. Like, this is the way I would say it. I'm a New England guy, so I follow the Celtics closely. With 1 or 2 exceptions, I can name you, the Celtics under Brad Stevens have not won a playoff series that they weren't supposed to win.
Right.
They haven't won a playoff series that they weren't supposed to win. I mean, they did have a couple of years ago. They had that series in the Sixers where they were underdogs in the series, but in that case, the Celtics had home court. they were an underdog despite having home court. I think that was a 2-3 series. Celtics were the 2, the Sixers were the 3, and that was a gutty win by the Celtics. But I'm talking about a series where like it's the Celtics against LeBron's Cavs or something like that. Like they haven't won that. And by the way, they haven't won that, including when they had home court. The year with Isaiah, when the Celtics were the 1 seed. I'm not saying they should have won that. It's not a choke job that they didn't win it, but they didn't. They couldn't win that. But like I like him. I mean, we'll see how Kemba is. Kemba's been banged up.
Yeah, he's been banged up, but I think he's fresh now, having this long layoff. I remember talking to Jaylen Brown back in the fall just about the Celtics at large and how they're doing, and he said that I said to him, why do you think that people don't give you guys your just due? And he says because we haven't won anything yet. They're a new team. They got Kemba Walker, they got Marcus Smart, they got him, they got Jason Tatum as well as Jaylen Brown have had MVP. They've had All-Star seasons, but I think they're trying to get it all together. I think that Kemba was a great addition to that team post Kyrie, and I think that he better suits them. Number one, because Kemba's hungry. Kemba's been in Charlotte for years and has not really had the opportunity to really soar or surge within Charlotte, just because they haven't been good. Stephen Ferris said best team ever, 04 Pistons. It's the Big Shot, Rip City, Tayshaun Prince, Sheed, Big Ben. I agree with you. And they came out of nowhere. The minute they traded to get Rasheed Wallace, things changed for them exponentially in the playoffs.
Are you I'm curious, Steven, are you a curious you're a Pistons fan? I love that team. I'm a big UConn guy. I love Rip Hamilton. I love Kemba. I'm a Ray Allen guy. I'm definitely a Rip Hamilton guy. But that was not the best team ever. That Pistons team, this is actually a compliment. I think that Pistons team, definitely in that decade in the 2000s, it was the least talented team that won a championship in the 2000s. I'm not going to say it was the least. I'm trying to – I kind of want to say it's the least. Scoop and I are thinking pretty much the same age. Ben, I'm about to be 35. And so it'd be a bold statement to say that was the least talented team to win a championship in my lifetime, but it's down there. But that's why I like those guys. They're a ballsy team. Like that team had no business. That team against I'd love to go back and look at like the odds for that finals heading into it. But like no one gave that Tayshaun Prince, Rip Hamilton Pistons team a chance to win that series, and they took it to the Lakers. But they're the best team ever. Anyway, but back to my picks would be. I think the Celtics make the East Finals, but they get crushed by the Bucks. I say Bucks in 5 in the East over the Celtics, Lakers in 7 over the Clips in the West, and then I think it's going to be an awesome championship series between the Bucks and Lakers, and I think the Lakers win it in 6 or 7. Gun to my head, I'd say the Lakers win it in 6.
I have the Sixers in the conference finals with the Bucks.
And so what happens? So what happens there? You get the Bucks, the Sixers give them a run for their money.
No, I think the Bucks are still going to the finals. I don't think the Sixers are going to the finals. I think they're going to the conference finals. I think they lose to the Bucks. Sixers lose to the Bucks. The thing about it is, I think one of the things that gets lost in translation a lot is people don't give the Raptors enough credit just because Kawhi Leonard is not there.
Yeah, I mean, so a question. That's an interesting thing that we haven't talked a ton about the Raptors. I feel like no one's talked that much about the Raptors this year. We should talk about the Raptors just for a minute, especially because we got a commercial break in the Laker game. The job that those guys have done without Kawhi to be at second in the East at the restart, like it's amazing. I mean, this is a team that, like, pre-Kawhi. I mean, granted, they were a pretty good team without Kawhi. Before.
They couldn't get past. They could not get past LeBron in Cleveland.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
Yeah, and that cost Casey his job, rightly or wrongly. Maybe I mean the results under Nurse. Obviously, you can't argue with.
The championship. So, I mean, Nick Nurse was in a similar. Nick Nurse and Casey are in a similar but different situation as it relates to Mark Jackson and Steve Kerr. You take a team and you win a championship.
The reason I have a little bit more sympathy for Casey than for Jackson in that scenario was like the team that Kerr took over from Jackson was the same team. The team that Nurse took over, you added a top 3 player in the league. You know what I mean? So like it'd be like, to me, what happened with the Raptors would be like if the Warriors like didn't have Klay Thompson or something until Kerr took over. And you take over, you add a great player, and then you win.
Let's see that.
But we'll see. I mean, it'd be interesting. I mean, I don't. I think Steve Kerr's a better coach than Mark Jackson, but also that team was young under Jackson. I mean, those guys were kids.
He developed them.
Yeah, I mean, you could totally sell me on something that's basically like Mark Jackson wasn't a great coach, but those guys were young and emerging, and they needed another year anyway. You know, I mean, that happens. It happens in every sport. You know, why not do too much baseball talk? But like having a Buck Showalter with the Yankees, he's pretty good. He steps away, and then the team wins 3 championships the next 4 years when he's gone. You know, makes him look bad.
Yeah,
makes him look bad.
Well, that's valid. I got that baseball reference. I think that you bring up a valid point. I think that with Mark Jackson, you hit it on the head. He was developing a team. He drafted a lot of those guys, and Steph Curry was often injured. And finally, he got it together. When Kerr came in, brought in Iguodala. You had Draymond Green, and 2015 I think surprised many people. But I always wonder, hey, what if Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love weren't hurt? Will we be singing the Warriors' praises the same way? And you brought up something earlier. I forgot about it. I wanted to bring back. One of the things that's talked about in NBA circles is, what if Steph Curry and the Warriors were healthy? What if Kevin Durant was healthy? Would the Toronto Raptors have been able to win the NBA Finals like they did last year? And I think that this year gives the Raptors a chance to silence many critics, because many people think some people think that the Raptors got the easy way in that situation. So it makes me wonder if Kevin Durant, who was hurt earlier in the playoffs, came back a little too soon, got hurt again in the finals, that happened, I'd be willing to bet that it would be a different outcome. That's just me.
Landon has a provocative comment. He says the Warriors would have won all those rings with Mark Jackson.
Yeah, Kevin Durant, of course you would.
You think that's true? The Warriors would have won all those rings with Mark Jackson?
Yeah, Mark just got a raw deal in the end, because he said some things privately that came back out that many people in NBA circles, when phone calls are made about recommendations, he doesn't get a good recommendation from the Warriors. Something specific that he said.
You think that that's why he's not an NBA head coach, as opposed to people have questions about the results?
Yes.
I buy that. I buy that, especially because the results were fine. I mean, the results weren't great, but we had this stuff is obviously hard to unpack. I was listening to I think a lot of, I won't be the first person touching this because a lot of people have, but I was listening to a really good. You ever listen to Nate Duncan's podcast?
No, but I'm familiar with Nate. Yes.
So anyway, Nate has a good podcast. So I was listening to a really good pod that when I get it, I'll drop the link into the chat here. So Nate had Perry Bacon Jr. on. Perry's a writer, really, really talented, really smart politics reporter from 538. And they had this wide-ranging discussion on Nate's podcast a few weeks ago where they touched on reporting in the NBA, and they also talked about the lack of racial diversity in coaching and front office jobs in sports. And this is where Mark Jackson came up, or where Mark Jackson comes to mind for me, but also I think in that conversation, which is that if you look at what happens to black coaches relative to white coaches in the NFL and the NBA, the black coaches are much less likely to get a second chance than the white coaches. That's not to say that there aren't idiosyncratic issues, pro and con, for every coach. Obviously there are. And obviously some guys deserve and some guys don't deserve a second chance. But what Nate and Perry were talking about was, like, if you look at the track record, the NFL and NBA landscapes. I mean, you wrote the other day, and this is not a knock on this guy because I think he's a really good coach. You wrote the other day about Tom Thibodeau, right? You talked to Joakim Noah, who had great things to say about Tom Thibodeau. And I think Tom Thibodeau is a really good coach. I remember Tom Thibodeau being a Doc Rivers assistant on the championship Celtics teams. Tom Thibodeau is totally a good coach, but he's on his third. He's going to be on his third team now.
Yeah, and there are some players that I have reached out to in the last 24 hours that most players wanted to talk about Tibbs. A couple didn't. There are a few players who did not have a good relationship with Tibbs and did not want to speak about him publicly on the record. So, but most of the positivity came Tibbs' way, like Joakim Noah, who told me or spoke the world of Tibbs. I'm pulling up the text message now. When I asked him just about the Knicks at large, he said the Knicks are in good hands. Tibbs is a hard-nosed coach that brings it 24/7 as a player. All you want is to be held accountable. Tibbs will be that. I'm sure his house is in order, and he will be ready for the task. I wish him nothing but the best. So, Joakim Noah made 2 NBA All-Star appearances with under Tibbs in Chicago as a member of the Bulls. And, he thinks the world of him. I was on the phone with Taj Gibson last night, current New York Knick, and he and Tibbs are supposed to link up sometime next week. Tibbs gave remarks today about, his new partnership with the Knicks. And, but Taj does think the world of Tibbs. He's played for Tibbs in Minnesota as well as Chicago, and now he'll be a co-worker of Tibbs as a member of the New York Knicks as well. So there are guys who do think the world of him, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I do think you're right about second chances. Something that comes to mind easily to me is Byron Scott, who coached the New Jersey Nets and had some issues with Jason Kidd, and Lawrence Frank ended up replacing Byron Scott. And this is Byron Scott, who did take the Nets to multiple NBA Finals appearances, and that next season started out kind of rocky. Lost a bunch of games, and Lawrence Frank, was a listening ear for Jason Kidd. And when I talked to former members of the Cavaliers in 2016, they likened Tyronn Lue's emergence in Cleveland after David Blatt was fired to Lawrence Frank when he ultimately became the next head coach of the Nets after Byron Scott left. So it's interesting.
I feel like I want to stop for a moment and just repeat a phrase you said and give props to Byron Scott. Think about this with like almost 20 years of hindsight now. Took the Nets to multiple finals. Like that phrase. The guy took the Nets to multiple. I know they had some talent. I know Jason Kidd was on the team. But like I want to make sure this is true, but it has to be. How many times have the Nets been in the finals in franchise history?
Twice, and then they won some ABA championships. Other than nothing.
So that should get you some cred if you take the New Jersey Nets to multiple finals. Like,
for sure.
That's not that easy a thing to do. I will say, by the way, I was thinking about Tibbs, and the thing that's particularly noteworthy about Tibbs is like, this isn't just some of these coaches. It's not just a second chance. It's that someone scoops them up immediately. Like they don't even have to take. They don't even Tibbs and guys like that. Tibbs isn't going to need to go be a broadcaster for 5 years in between coaching jobs. He's going to get scooped up. But I will tell you a major exception to a rule of it takes a while for black head coaches to get another shot or never. A major exception we're watching right now is Doc, right? Where Doc obviously has, and now that one's different because Doc left the Celtics after winning. And Doc did pretty much nothing other than win,
Mm-hmm.
but the team was breaking up. The team wasn't going to be very good that next year after they traded Pierce and Garnett
to the Nets. Yeah.
So they weren't going to be very good, and Doc knew that. But Doc obviously took the Clippers job, and he's had a lot of longevity. I mean, I will say, like, as a guy who follows the Celtics, the succession of Doc to Brad Stevens has been really, really. I feel like lucky to have. I feel lucky that now the Celtics are going on. I don't know. I'm trying to think when Doc's first year, in the mid 2000s. I mean, the Celtics are going on like 15 straight years, having like a really, really good coach the whole time, and like that's not lost on me. But with Doc, I wonder this. I wonder if you have a thought on this, and a lot of it's going to depend probably on what he can do with this window with the Clippers. Do you think Doc will win another championship?
If he does, this is the year.
Yeah, and Landon mentioned Dwayne Casey's another guy who's getting another. They talk, by the way, on that podcast where I dropped you the link with Nate and Perry. They talk about Dwayne Casey, and I think Perry had a good point with Casey. No offense to our boy out here who's a Pistons fan, but Perry was like, the Pistons are so, I'm paraphrasing. He basically said, like, the Pistons are so bad that I don't think Dwayne Casey's going to have any success, but I'm not going to know whether it's his – I'm not going to know if he can coach because that team isn't going to be – he was kind of like, I'd be curious if Dwayne Casey had a better team right now. But maybe he can do some things with the Pistons. I don't know. I'm not here to knock the Pistons. The Pistons maybe the Pistons can do something.
Sure.
I don't know. You know?
The Pistons are in a very precarious situation. You bring in Derrick Rose, who's had, a rebounded career the last couple of years. By the way, the score is 15-9 with 7-1 in the first. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is at the line. But in answer to your question about the Pistons, hold on one second. When you talk about the Pistons at large, I think they're just at a point where they're stagnant. You have Blake Griffin. You have they got rid of their point guard, who's now a member of the Clippers and is living his best life. But it just there's no identity. I think identity is the word that we're looking for in the Central Division at large, not just the Pistons, the Bulls. They're a young team, built along the sides of Zach LaVine and Wendell Carter Jr. and others. So I think it's just that Central Division, the Cleveland Cavaliers. They had their heyday with LeBron James, and they still have Kevin Love, but they're not that Central Division. They're not impressive to me. I think the Eastern Conference, particularly the Atlantic Division, is looking to make some moves in that regard. But as it relates to your question about Doc Rivers, man, I think now is the season to capitalize off of that, particularly because you brought in a star in Paul George and then, an all-star in Kawhi Leonard. And Steve never said it best, fire sale for the Pistons.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Scott Apuzzo with the Rick Pitino reference. Who else do we need some shout outs? I know Sean Devaney was lingering in here. He should hop on. Scoop, anybody you want to shout out to in the audience here?
No. Hey, everybody. Good to
shout
see
out to everybody. All right, good. Yeah, the bad boys are not walking through that door at all. So to reset, let's just reset here for a minute. 18-11 Lakers early. Again, not allowed to do play-by-play. We can tell you a little bit about what's going on. About 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Keep the comments flowing. We have comments coming in on 3 platforms. We have them from Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. So that part's gone well. Keep the comments going if you have questions. I don't expect anybody to have questions for me, but nobody cares what I have to say. But if you have questions for Scoop, fire away. If you have coverage requests for Heavy, Scoop and I can both take those.
What I'll add is, and I think we haven't talked about them at all. Uh, the Miami Heat isn't getting enough mentions and enough love. Uh, as Joakim Noah is at the free throw line right now, he just missed his first free throw.
They're not getting enough love in what regard? Like, you think they're going to make a finals run, or you just think they're a good team?
They have the potential to be both.
Let me call up the East standings.
When you look at the,
You're right. You're right that the Heat, right? You're right that the Heat, relative to their record, most people don't treat him as a serious contender, and they're like, I mean, they're 2.5 games behind the Celtics for the 3 seed. So there you go. I still have a hard time seeing them making a deep run, but it's a good record.
Here's what people didn't expect. So when I look at the Miami Heat, you drafted Tyler Hero, you got an undrafted Kendrick Nunn. Early this season, Kendrick Nunn was thought by some to be an early season rookie of the year. Of course, things have changed. But you also, in free agency, got Jimmy Butler, who really became their Dwayne Wade replacement. When you look at the Miami Heat, as you know, Ben, I was with Russell Westbrook the day he was traded to the Houston Rockets out in Oklahoma. And the talk on the ground in Oklahoma was they wanted to move Chris Paul to the Miami Heat. But Miami's apprehension was Tyler Hero. Miami didn't want to give up Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma City didn't want to give up Danilo Gallinari. And what you saw at the trading deadline was them trying to make that deal happen. Miami still didn't want to give up Tyler Hero.
Yeah. Tyler Hero, I watched a decent amount of Kentucky basketball. Watched Tyler Hero a good amount in Kentucky. I did not think that Tyler Hero was going to be this kind of pro. I'm sure some people did who were a lot smarter than I am. But, like, do you remember, Scoop? I can't think – I mean, I haven't been following Summer League super, super closely for my whole life. But, like, I mean, I'm at least aware of what's going on. I can't remember another player in the last decade or so just going on more of an epic tear in the Summer League and opening eyes than Tyler Hero, where you're like, holy shit, this guy can really play. I can't name another guy who did that. There were guys who had good Summer League stretches, but Tyler Hero was like the dominant player in that. And then he carried it over into the season. It's not like he just was crushing guys who ended up in the G League. Like, the guy can really play. Yeah,
and the combination of Kendrick Nunn and Tyler Hero was pretty scary. I spoke with former Miami Heat player and champion Mario Chalmers on the Scoopy Radio podcast last week. And he told me that, he was training with Nunn at great length during the pandemic before Miami left to go to Orlando for Summer League, for the NBA resume at Walt Disney World. And he was just telling me just the combination of Hero and Nunn could legitimately be around for a very, very long time. Actually told me that the Miami Heat at large reminds them of a baby version of his Miami Heat championship team. So they're missing maybe one piece. And what I think also gets lost in translation is how beneficial Bam Adebayo is for Miami. If you really think about it, Hassan Whiteside was traded because they had faith in Bam Adebayo, potentially a most improved player of the year candidate this season. So, I really, really do think that the Miami Heat team is definitely a dark horse in the NBA's Eastern Conference. People talk about Indiana. Will Victor Oladipo play? Multiple people within the league have shared with me that there could be. Yes, you're right. His mind on paper, he could be both Defensive Player of the Year and Most Improved Player of the Year. Different people. Shifting back to Indiana real quick. Multiple people within the league have shared with me That Victor Oladipo, has pondered back and forth whether he'll play. And one of the things that he and the Pacers have toyed around with is potentially coming off the bench within the Pacers system in the reboot in Orlando, to preserve himself. I can also tell you, to switch back to Miami, that Miami is a team that is really interested in Victor Oladipo come this off season in the fall. I have to get used to saying the fall, not the summer, because we're in the summer and we're playing basketball in the summer. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Miami moving forward, because I think they're a couple of stars away, a star and an additional big star away from replicating what they have, and they do every so often in Miami, which is create deep playoff teams.
If Landon's been our stat guy, I'll look this up if I can. Do me a favor, Landon, if you're still in the stat mode, give me Tyler Hero's 2019 Summer League stats. Those were some monster stats. And yeah, I think it feels Scoop like Miami could look back if they keep Tyler Hero for a long time and be like, man, I'm really glad we didn't trade him before he ever played a game. Mm-hmm. There you go. JR DeGroot hopping in. JR is one of the guys who runs the Heavy on Lakers page. And you may know this. Dion Waiters is a favorite of the Heavy on Lakers page because he's the only guy I know who's done this recently, but he shared a Heavy story on his IG story recently. So he's getting a lot of love in the Heavy family.
I have a Dion Waiters story.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I spent some time with Dion about 4 years ago on South Street in Philadelphia. He's from Philly. And so I spent some time with him after a rap concert on South Street. So if you remember Jay-Z and Rockefeller Records, over the last decade, there was a group within Rockefeller Records called State Property. And, Freeway is in that group, Beanie Siegel, Chris and Neef, they're part of the group called the Young Guns. And long story short, when the concert was over, I was literally walking with those guys with no security all around South Street, and everybody knew who they were. So like when we left where they did the concert, I was backstage with them after the concert. We walked on the street. We walk into this other restaurant. We walk into like this restaurant that's like a bar / like lounge / pool hall. It was pretty cool with music, DJ, and everything. And we walk in, and Dion Waiters is sitting in there, and he sees State Property because he grew up liking those guys. Yo, what's up, guys? What's going on? And we ended up leaving that restaurant and then walking around South Street some more. And everybody's swarming them because they know it's State Property and it's Dion Waiters. And it was all love, like the fact that those guys were just home chilling. It was something that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Philly's produced a massive amount of NBA talent. It feels like a disproportionate amount, but that may not be true. It's a big city. But, I mean, it's definitely – I mean, it's particularly if you include if you branch out into, like, the Philly suburbs, you've got a pretty good roster of Philly guys.
Yeah, Philly definitely has a lot of guys. You can think of one of the best NBA players to ever come out of Philadelphia. One of the best NBA players to ever come out was sorry, I was reading a text message. I'm trying to get somebody to come in.
Oh, we'll do some reporting. Yeah, we're gonna try to get you guys some guests. We lost some viewers. We still get 20 viewers overall. We'll some things up with some guests that we're both working on. Okay, Landon came through with Heroes Summer League stats. He averaged 19 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.5 steals. Landon, if you have his 3-point percentage, I'd love that too. The 19 points a game is key though. And it's not like he averaged 30 a game, but for a guy in his first NBA action, I mean that stood out. That stood out for sure. If anybody bet the Lakers minus 4.5, you're gonna feel pretty good here early. 10-point lead.
Yeah, man.
So here's the deal with this. So Scoop's working 36% from the field for Hero. Scoop is so that's pretty low, but I wonder about his three. Maybe it wasn't as good for three as I remember. I definitely remember him hitting a bunch of threes and getting a bunch of attention. But anyway, on the programming note, Scoops can try to get some people in. We'll take whatever feedback anybody has. We, I think we're willing to hang with you guys for a long time. I don't know if we'll do the whole game. This is the first time we've done this. We've been on for an hour. So if we have, I think from my standpoint, Scoop, if we have the audience, I'm totally happy to stick around.
I'm texting. So you know the legendary rapper Master P, right?
Yes, I do. You do not need to preface Master P by telling me who Master P. I'm well aware of who Master P is.
I haven't posted it on social, but I'm actually doing an Instagram live with Master P tomorrow.
What time?
3:00 p.m.
Plug your IG live, because most people probably know it, but maybe some people don't. Plug your IG live, when and where people can find it, and who you have. Master P tomorrow. Who else do you have coming up?
So while I'm talking to you, I'm texting his brother, Silk the Shocker, and Silk will be on in the next 10 minutes on this with us.
No, okay, I got to read up on this guy now. I know Master P. I'm insulted that you feel that you had to say anytime.
It wasn't just you; it was other people that were in the broadcast.
But any time that someone's like title is legendary so and so, like, unless you're overusing or misusing the word legend, like, people should know who the person is if they're really a legend, even if it's like a genre that they're not that familiar with. I think.
Yeah,
you have Master P. So you have Master P coming up tomorrow, 3:00 on IG Live.
Yeah, and I don't know how to type that in.
What are you going to ask him about tomorrow?
I don't know yet. I'll be working on it when I get up in the morning tomorrow. But yeah, so Master P's coming on, and I had been playing phone tag with his brother earlier this week, and I just texted him. He's driving, but he should be home in 6 minutes. He said he'll come on.
Nice.
But yeah, Silk the Shocker is his brother, Romeo's uncle. But yeah, it'll be a good time. So yeah, we're waiting for him, and text a couple other people. But in the future, we definitely will do more of these. This is our first broadcast here. For those who are angry with us, sorry. We're not broadcasting the game, but we are having conversation and getting our reps up, and it's definitely a good time. When you were in college, Ben, did you do radio or broadcast of games?
I did a lot of radio. I did the games. So WVOF is the Fairfield student radio station. Like, I think, Scoop, you've probably had I'm gonna have another guest.
See that comment?
What's that?
Were you gonna say you're gonna have another guest?
Oh, I'm gonna have another guest. My boy Rick Rosen, who's a heavy contributor, or former heavy contributor, now works for Boom Fantasy, and it was the host of the late great Check Down fantasy football show on our heavy YouTube page. He wants to come on, but we got to see whether we want Rick and Silk the Shocker on at the same time. We'll get Rick on at some point, with or without Silk. Silk will come on first. Rick's waiting in the wings. Yes. Rick's having a bad hair day, but he's gonna find a hat. So Rick, you can come on without the hat anyway. It's all right. We're all family here. We're letting it. It's opening night. We're working out the kinks, and if you have bad hair, that's okay. So, dude, can Silk? How many Twitter, Instagram followers does Silk the Shocker have? Can he blast out a link to this to his followers?
I didn't ask him.
Yeah, but we don't need him to be like, if he's on the road, that's okay. But when he gets back, let me find his Twitter. Let me find his Twitter page. Rick, we're gonna get Rick on here, and we're gonna see if we can find it. Sandwich is saying, where's the game? Yeah, dude, we don't have the live game broadcast. We do have
Sandwiches, watch your tone of voice. Stop yelling at me.
Yeah, the game's on TNT. You can find it. I've twice put in a streaming guide, and that's not what we're here to do. We're here to talk some hoops with you guys. We'll be here for a while. 33, and we know, but one of the reasons to like that our score updates are not that helpful is we know there's a little bit of a lag. I think there's a lag of probably a minute or so. So we'll by the time you hear us read a score, you probably know that you're probably a minute into the future after you're seeing that. But I can confidently tell you that the Lakers are up early in the game and looking pretty good. One thing we didn't talk about is AD. Can you fill me in on what was going on with AD's eye? I guess his eye was a question heading into the game, but obviously he's been able to play.
Okay. People were comparing him to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar the other day. He's playing and he's all right. So some people doubted whether he'd play tonight. I don't think he'd miss that for the world. Yeah, that was it. He was playing. He did play. He got poked in the eye during the game, and he figured it out.
All right, so Silk will be in. Master P on Scoop IG Live. Scoop, do you do IG Live every day at 3?
No, I just did it. I do it. I usually do it on Thursdays at 4. But he was trying to find some time to do it today, and I just didn't have the time because I was doing 50 million things today. But tomorrow, we'll definitely have it at 3 o'clock Eastern time. You
gonna have some basketball conversation with Master P?
Of course, Master P. Well, he played for the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, he can play. He's the whole family. That's a basketball family.
Yes, it is. Yes,
so you get some good basketball conversation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
So I'll tune in for that.
Please do. Instagram.com. Follow me on Instagram at scoop_B. You'll be able to see it. Flyer will go up tomorrow. And check it out. I'm happy forever Lakers win today. Hopefully they do win.
Scoop, we got Truck Bryant.
Yes, have him come in. That's my dude.
Okay, Truck. So all right, we're gonna have first. Scoop can do the intro on this. So Truck Bryant will be on the stream, and Scoop can introduce him. So here he is.
Truck Bryant.
Here I am.
You're on fire.
Fire. Hold on.
So for those who are not familiar with
TV.
So for people who are not familiar with Chuck Bryant, Chuck Bryant's Instagram was one of the hottest Instagram accounts during the pandemic. Chuck, I want to introduce you to my editor, Ben Duty over at heavy.com.
What's up, Chuck?
Welcome. What's up, man?
Chuck Bryant played college basketball at West Virginia. Darryl Bryant is his real name. And your Instagram went live, or rather went viral when you had Kyrie on. Tell everybody what went on with that.
I mean, nothing really. The only thing with like obviously I respect you, but that's the only thing that people don't understand. Like when you talk about these NBA players, they either know me or saw me play on TV. It's one or the other. I don't need a an introduction to them. That's my little brother. It's my little brother. They know what's going on with me. They know.
For sure. Sandwiches. Don't come at me today, brother. I'm looking at the comments right now. He said I suck. If I suck so bad, get off our feet. Goodbye. You don't need an introduction, sir. What do you think about the resume of the NBA season, sir?
I mean, as long as it's healthy for everybody and their family, I love it. We all want to watch TV. We all was either on my live or your live.
This is true.
So we all want to watch basketball. We want to see them play basketball. So I think it's great to have it on TV. Chuck,
what was the best part about playing with Bob Huggins?
He's just a real one. He a real one. He don't care what he say. He a real one. He gonna be honest with you, and I like honesty, so it was cool for me.
I like it. I like it. This Lakers game between the Lakers and the Clippers. You've had Dion Waiters on your live a few times. What was his mindset like before they went over to the bubble that you remember?
Well, I'm gonna be brutally honest. He from the hood like me. I expect him to talk the way he talk. I understand it. I understand both sides. But I like how he was talking in the live. Like, I'm Philly cheese, boom, 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 and he's been doing good so far. So I just wish him the best bubble success.
From your perspective of the bubble and from guys that you are in contact with, do guys feel like it's an AAU tournament
Yeah.
and a sleepaway camp?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
They really do. They feel that way. Like, it's like AAU. It's like AAU right now. People's watching the game and everything. The players is watching it. But at the end of the day, this is some people opportunity, like a Dion Waiters. Like, this for Dion to let them know that, like, I belong. So stop playing with me. That's what I respect about him. He gonna go get it.
What do you think Dion has to prove for himself versus, like, do you think he has more to prove to himself versus proving people wrong?
Oh no. He has all the confidence in the world. I don't think he has nothing to prove to himself. But to people, he just want to show them that, yeah, I belong here. I am Dion Waiters. I am Philly cheese. Like, I belong here.
When you look at J.R. Smith, he's a guy who sat out for a long time, just like Melo did.
Yeah.
He's a guy from the tri-state area. He played for the New York Knicks, won a championship with the Cleveland Cavaliers. If you were in if you were in J.R. Smith's position, how would you be feeling playing against LeBron or playing with LeBron James?
Oh, I won a championship with him. I got his back no matter what. I mean, that's just how it goes in basketball. I mean, I love to see it. I'm happy J.R. Smith got signed. There's another guy who tapped in. So, I mean, I'm just happy to see them doing their thing.
What was you guys' dialogue like online?
Oh, he's funny. He's funny. He's one of a kind. I'm not going to get into detail, but
Sure.
J.R. Smith is one of a kind, but a great guy.
Why do you think he's so misunderstood?
I mean, you know, like us, like, we don't know personally, but from what we hear is that he's everywhere sometimes. And I mean, to each his own. Like, you're a grown man. Just, this is just on a different level. So if it was anybody else that was everywhere, but they wasn't in the NBA, that's how you got looked. That's how you get looked at as whatever they say, and they don't really, like, we don't know what's really going on.
Only Marvin Gaye knows what's really going on.
That's it. That's it.
What's new with you? What are you working on? Tell us about your podcast.
Oh, to be honest, when I did this, it's just a podcast, to be honest. I just happen to know most of these players. So, I mean, it's been going great for me, but got some advice from you, some advice from Gilly, so some advice from Steven Jackson. So for me, I just wanted to keep it original. I wanted to be me. That was it. I never tried to get out of my character, out of my box. This is me every day.
You and Quentin Cook were having quite the hilarious DC and New York conversations during pandemic or during quarantine and between March and May. I'm curious from your perspective. Why do you think he's such a glue guy in LA?
Just because who's on the team, he's young. He's still young, so just because who's on the team, he's a hell of a player. He's a hell of a player. I like his game, but there's a lot of people on that team right now, and I can't tell you who. I mean, who you gonna play over right now? It's tough. That's how basketball works sometimes. Like, you got your number one team in the West.
Kevin Durant made some bets on your life. What was the bet? Because I can't remember. It was so long ago. It was like in April. Do you remember?
I remember. He said Jared Jack will leave me on 0.
He said Jared Jack what?
Will leave me on 0 points.
Is that gonna happen?
Never. I had to tell KD, are you dumb? Like, what? That will never happen. Ever. Like, what you I told him he might not leave me on 0, but he might. Jared Jack won't at all.
What do you think of the significance of KD and Kyrie when those two are back healthy next season? Do you think it's going to be an adjustment?
No. You got two great players. That's no adjustment for nobody but the other supporting cast. That's it.
Yeah. I could see
They
that.
want the ball, you give it to them, and you move out the way. That's the only thing that happens.
I want to see Jamal come back next season.
You want to see who come back?
Jamal Crawford.
Oh, me too.
I do.
I do too. He's tough.
Ben, are you there?
Yeah, I had to take a bathroom break. Hour 15 in. You do these marathon shows, you're gonna need a bathroom break here and there. And we've been on for an hour and 20 minutes. We're like nowhere near halftime. That early going late pushed us back.
Now I know what you're going through, Truck, when you're doing these long ass lives.
Ooh, that shit is brutal. Oh, it's brutal. But you got to give the people what they want.
Yes, you do. Yes,
How long are your lives, Truck?
It could start at 8, end at 4 in the morning. It could start at 8. It could end at 5 in the morning. It just depends. You know,
you had a podcast? Truck, plug your podcast if you didn't earlier. If you didn't already.
my podcast is it's on Apple and Spotify or whatever else. I don't even know how to work it really. But it's called The Truck Bryant Show.
The Chuck Brown Show. Okay. You must know how to work it or it wouldn't exist. So
you're doing Anchor. The only thing I do is go on Anchor and press record or send to somebody else. That's it. I don't know how to do nothing else.
You know how to join us on this thing. I mean, this is
No, I got the link. Scoop B sent me the link. I clicked it. So
okay. That's still something.
I'm not a computer savvy guy. We not doing that.
We're not doing that.
We not doing that. I'm not no.
So
that's the most important part about having a team.
Scoop, before Truck came on, you were asking me about college radio, but my college radio was a lot of fun, but it's pretty boring. But Truck, so I called up. I'm gonna drop in Truck's basketball reference page, which I'm looking at. Truck, your senior year, West Virginia, you put up some numbers, man. I mean, the other years too, but that 2011-12 year,
it gets tricky with me. I could really score the basketball. It gets tricky.
So
tricky.
Let me find it. And so I went to Fairfield University, not really known for basketball all that much. But
hold up. What years did you go there?
I graduated in 2007, so I was out of there a little. You know anybody who played there?
Rakim Sanders.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Rakim wasn't.
Sean Crawford too.
Yeah. Crawford and Rakim were both there a little bit. A couple of years after I was, and Rakim was a really good player. I mean, Rakim was only at Fairfield for a year, and Fairfield's got this tortured history. The last they haven't been in the NCAA tournament since 1997. They've been to the MAC final 4 times since then and lost all of them. One was Rakim's 1 year. Came in from BC. He was only at Fairfield for a year, but he was one of the best players they ever had.
We got somebody else in the queue, by the way.
Yeah, all right. Mr. Our test is here too. So we'll go four wide here. And then I'm gonna get Truck's basketball reference page to drop in here. But dude, what I was gonna say is went to Fairfield, but I grew up a UConn fan, and those UConn West Virginia games in Morgantown was just those were you knew UConn was losing that game almost every time.
That's how
it was a nightmare.
That's how it works here.
How was it? Tell us what it was like being in that Well, I guess they didn't. I guess Huggins never ran. I was going to ask you about the 1-3-1, but that was really a Beeline thing, not a Huggins thing. But
We played it too. We played it too.
When
When we played that, I came out the game.
Yeah. Did you play it a little bit?
I'm an offensive player. Not
Figure out what's going on in man-to-man or a 1-3-1 or a 2-1-2 or whatever. You're just like, take me out.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm just joking.
Look at
I played it a little bit.
16 in game senior year. All right. Scoop can intro our next guest here also.
Artest.
Yo, what's up, guys? How you doing? Truck, what's going on, brother?
What's up, big dog?
Man, maintain it, man. How you doing, Ben?
Hey, Daniel, I guess I'm in the podcast.
What you say?
I said, I guess I'm in the podcast and media world now. What y'all?
Yeah. Yeah. You in.
No, I don't want to be in.
Well, hey.
We'll talk shit on live.
That's it.
Daniel Artest, meet Ben Duty. He's my editor at heavy.com. You know Truck.
Okay.
What's up, Dan?
Yeah.
I've been I know you've been quoted on our site, so we appreciate you giving Scoop some fodder for content. Good to have you.
Yeah.
Good to have you with us. Scoop's done a good job. We went from 0 to 60 here. We're sitting here trying to line up some guests, and here we go. So the night is really, really young. This is a marathon broadcast, but we maxed out Scoop at like 50 or 60 people live on all platforms, but the cumulative number is going to be big. If we can get some people to blast this out in their social feeds, I think it could pick up.
He's asking you guys to tweet the link.
Yeah, get it out there. No, yeah, but we're gonna have some other guests too. All these guys.
We're waiting for Silk the Shocker. He just texted me. He'll be in any minute.
All right.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how to see y'all into that. I'm still playing basketball. I got Twitter, but I don't even know how to tweet this.
You got the link, right?
Yeah, but it's on my.
All right, I'm gonna walk you through it. So this is what you do. You see my text from me, right?
Although
Twitter's on this.
Tweet the. You know what you could actually do, Truck, to be even simpler is you could retweet Scoop's tweet with the link with the live video.
He didn't tweet me though.
I'm gonna text you the link.
The link, y'all live right now on Twitter, so I got you. Watch this.
You show it all. You want me to text you the link?
No, I said tweet me because I'm on this phone. I'm on my phone.
I'm a DM it to you now.
On Twitter, it's Truck Bryant 25.
You know, we follow each other. Hold on. Truck Bryant.
All right, we put in the comments Truck's basketball reference page. So Truck, I was hyping up your senior year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna call it up the page now. But like you were just shy, Truck, of averaging double figures every year of your career.
Mm.
Oh,
9.8. So these are Truck scoring averages in 2008-09 through 2011-12. Averaged 9 point in 08-09 as a freshman. He averaged 9.8 points. Played a lot. Played 25 minutes, 25.6 minutes as a freshman. Averaged 9.8 points. 9.3 as a sophomore in 2009-10. 11.
Yeah, you know why? Hold up. Before you finish, Ben, you know why I only averaged 9.3?
Why's that?
Because we made it to the Final Four that year. I had three NBA players on my team. No, I'm not even joking.
Who's on your team?
Deshaun Butler, Devin Ebanks, Kevin Jones, all played in the NBA.
This is the wait. What was the Final Four year? Was your sophomore year, right? 2009-10.
Yeah.
Call up the roster.
Philly Cheese is being bad right now.
Yes, he is. The boy from Philly. Yes, sir.
So those guys were in your class too, huh? Truck, Kevin Jones and Evan. Yeah,
both of them. Yeah.
You guys had a lot of parity. Like nobody averaged 20. Sean was your leading scorer that year. He averaged 17.
Yep.
So you're the fourth scorer
And
on
he
that.
was a senior.
Yeah.
Mr. Artest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's me.
Your podcast is doing well these days.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Thanks. I appreciate that coming from you, man.
Tell me more about it.
Well, it's just a simple podcast, and talk about sports, talk about NBA. But I also been getting some more clients, people that's in the business, in the tech and stuff. So I've been having people like that on my show now. I like to talk about things, any athlete, any entertainer, what they do off the court. I just don't want to talk basketball all the time with them. I want them, they have second passions. You know what I'm saying? Like I did a interview with Truck, and me and Truck was talking about after basketball stuff, like what he wanted to do after basketball, and he had really interesting answers, and then we actually vibed on that. So that's just what I do. I first started off just wanted to talk basketball. Then once I started getting these guests, and I was like, all right, let me switch it up a little bit. Let's just talk about a little bit of basketball, but more so what they do off the court. That's all.
Scoop, we got a good job with the Meta World piece tweet. That's now and look at our viewership.
Yeah. Let me tell you. I run in social media. That's how I hook Truck up with them and stuff like that. So I run it all. Yeah.
You definitely hooked me up.
Okay. No, keep all these.
That was a New York to New York paper.
Yeah. That was a big. It was hard because Ron be so busy when it comes to his X versus X's app thing. Man, he don't want to talk to nobody.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so let's set the scene the Artest family in some combination sent us like 200. We went from 20 live viewers to 200. So Scoop, why should these people stay? Set the scene. Who are we? What the hell are we doing? The rest of the night. Somebody, Dan, sell this pot. Here, I'll do this for a second. So, we got Dan, we get Scoop, we got Truck. I'm trying to.
We got Ben.
I'm trying to hang, and we're gonna be here for as long as we can get through Lakers Clippers. And we're gonna be here often. This is more important plug. Scoop's gonna be with us often on the Heavy on Lakers Facebook, on the Heavy YouTube, which we're building up. And then Scoop's live on Periscope here also. And we got another guest I'll pipe in here in a second. So we'll go 5 wide here, Scoop.
We got Silk.
Here you go. He's got his name in here, Scoop.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all got me for about a second. I gotta wake up early.
No problem, brother. I appreciate you coming on.
Truck, thanks. Let's have you back on to talk about that 2010 that's a monster 2010 West Virginia team. We'll have you back on to talk about that team.
All right. Let me know. Y'all know whatever y'all need from me, I'm here.
All right. Thanks a lot, man.
Brother, thank you.
There you go.
But,
all right,
brother.
All right. So we get 1 out. We go back to 3, and we go back to a 4 here. There you go.
Silk!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's up, money man?
Oh man, I'm blessed. How about yourself, my brother?
I'm blessed and highly favored, good brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we are doing something called Heavy on Lakers, and it's through Facebook, YouTube, Twitter.
Okay.
And we got my guy Daniel Artest, that's his brother.
Okay.
And a basketball man himself in his own right. And we also have my editor Ben Duty over at Heavy.com. We got over 100. It's feeding out to over 100,000 people.
Okay.
And I wanted to keep it in the family because I'm sitting down with your brother tomorrow.
Okay. It's all good.
When? How you feeling?
I'm blessed. My brother blessed. Just working, grinding, trying to stay lay low.
That's what you're supposed to do. You watching this Lakers Clippers game?
Yep, absolutely.
Who you got?
I'm probably gonna have to go with the Lakers.
How did I guess?
You know what I'm saying? I'm a LeBron guy. You know what I'm saying? What can I say?
Tell me, you told me this story about LeBron, you and your interaction with him some years ago. I think he shouted you out online or something like that. Can you tell us the story?
Oh no, it's just always been a mutual, good relationship. It's funny because the first time I met him, he was like, like he's very in tune to the coach. He's very in tune to, to what's going on. So the first time I met him, he was like, "What's up, Wody?" And Wody is like a New Orleans thing. So for him to kind of know that is kind of crazy, but he's definitely in tune with, what's going on. So I think it's just almost like probably a level of respect, I have a lot of basketball buddies and stuff like that, have a lot of friends that's hoopers. And I think that music and sports go together. So I think that, our respect for them is the same thing as that they respect for them, for us as well too. So yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like from a music perspective,
Mm-hmm.
you were Fab and Lloyd Banks before Fab and Lloyd Banks.
That's hilarious. Okay.
Your lazy flow to me sticks out.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody in today's music scene that can do what you do or remind you of yourself?
You know what? It's funny because I mean, most people, I think when I was doing it, I think a lot of people did. I mean, I sold a lot of records, but a lot of people didn't appreciate the flow. But most people are like, oh, you rapping off beat. But realistically, I wasn't. I was just rapping at a different pace. But if you go back, like people are like, oh, you should rap like you rapped back then. But one of my guys who's really heavy in the music business, super executive, was like, you just kind of before your time, basically. You know what I'm saying? And I know some rappers doing it now. But I wouldn't say really a lot. I mean, I don't know why they compare me to Blueface, stuff like that. But to me, like a Blueface is good because he's in his own lane. So you might say, oh, he can't rap, but nah, he know what he's doing, and that's his style. And then I know another person that it's gonna be weird, but I think that the parameters of it is the same thing, like a Lil Baby. But even though it's different, it's kind of like if you look at the style, how I came up, like I was a young dude, getting it in the streets, like that. So the music kind of a little different, but that you can get the comparisons too. So yeah.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. They did a documentary on BET the other day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did not watch it. What did I miss?
You didn't watch it all, man. You missed it. Okay.
So I've been working a lot.
I know, bro. I know. As you should.
What did I miss?
Nah, it was good. It was just kind of reminding people where we come from. So people see the music, all the records we sold and stuff like that, but I don't think they really appreciate the journey. And I know everybody got a journey, but ours was crazy. I was like, we could have made it or not made it. And it was just like a big push. So yeah, it was crazy. It's gonna be good. When you check it out, you're gonna like it.
I'm gonna, especially because I got to sit down with your brother tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be very insightful. Yep.
Daniel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What were your early recollections of No Limit Records growing up?
Man, what Sons of Funk, man?
That's Sons of Funk.
Man. Yes, sir, man.
Okay, you took it there, huh?
Yeah. I'm from New York City, Queensbridge, and stuff.
Okay.
Like No Limit has definitely influenced.
Okay.
Pretty much influenced, like me growing up.
Yeah.
Just wanting to be like my own man, be my own entrepreneur, learn business and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what y'all did. And also putting out quality stuff consistently. Think about it. 1998, y'all ran it. Snoop Dogg, Master P with The Last Dawn and everything like that. And like I said, Sons of Funk, y'all were successful albums. I think y'all put out like 18 albums, something like that, from No Limit. Very successful and everything like that. From the classic artwork, man, like everything was just like pristine, man. I really appreciate that, man. So nice to meet you. Thank you for even coming on and everything like that. It's dope.
Appreciate my brother.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Ben, what were your recollections of No Limit? What were your recollections growing up of No Limit Records?
Probably like listening in a minivan on the way to like some bullshit youth baseball game. Always, it's like I listened to all the white kids in my high school, which is basically the same as like all the kids in in my high school because we didn't have super diverse high school. Like everybody listened to hip hop pretty much nonstop from like middle school and high school all the way from the mid 90s through I graduated in 2003. So
it's funny, man.
No, that's dope. That's dope.
It's funny. My name coming up as Scoop. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
2 scoops. 2 scoops. Yeah.
Hey, but Silk, hold on. Hey, Silk, you hooped, right?
Yeah.
You had some game. You had some
Yeah.
game. I actually went up against Master P, and I was in AAU. I was in high school. I went up against Master P in Houston, actually.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
people make fun of his game, right? But what I would say is this: he's one of the most athletic basketball players you would know. Like,
well, then you don't
he had
know
it all.
me then. You obviously don't know me then, but that's cool.
No. I seen you. No. Let me finish.
Yeah,
I definitely seen you.
Yeah,
I definitely seen you, especially in a couple of celebrity basketball games. I definitely see you. Definitely had Hobbs getting able to get at the rim with ease, man. That's definitely, yeah.
So you know, I done told you for years. You laughing already? The T-Mac reference.
I know. Exactly.
What do you think of T-Mac starting that agency with Jermaine O'Neal?
Oh, I like it, and I was just talking to I be talking to Jo and T-Mac a lot, and T-Mac's my guy, and Jo is somebody who's definitely give me a lot of information on like the youth basketball with my kids and stuff like that.
Right.
So no, I think it's good because they really love the kids and they passionate about it. I see Jermaine traveling across the world with these kids. He don't have to, and then Mac is the same way too. It's like just love the kids, passionate about it, and it's not even about money for them. It's really that they see a lot of these kids in themselves. So it's kind of like so I know that they're going to be good agents because when I talk to them or speak to them, whatever, it's all about that. It's all about developing, growth, and then giving the kids knowledge too. So that's stuff that when we was growing up, we didn't have a lot of, and I think that they probably didn't have it either. So they're going to be good at it. And I know they're going to be good at it because their passion is different. They're not even in it for money. They really believe that they could help kids get to the next level. So I like it.
Were you more of a T-Mac in Houston guy or a T-Mac in Orlando guy?
That's funny. Let me see what the difference is. I would say more. I don't know. I'm a Mac guy anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then Mac, somebody who I think when he first came in the league, we was often like we was just alike. Like first time I met him, it was like his rookie year, and from that point forward, we've been kind of cool for a while. But I guess a little bit of both of them. I think he's the same person. I think what his thing is that they probably it was just different situations. But one thing about him is that his skills was crazy. Now he had to get the people around him. I don't think he ever got that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he ever got that part of it. So, but now I'm a little bit of both of them. And then I think just I like the way he rolled. He sleep a lot though, but
He's from the big sleep.
Yeah, he sleep. Boy, you call that dude, he'd be like, "What you doing? I'm sleeping." But he's good. That's a good dude. That's my guy right there. Good dude.
Word.
Yeah.
Word. Daniel.
Yes, sir.
I wrote an article. I pinned an article either early this month or sometime last month.
Yeah.
You did an as told to story during while everybody's talking about Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
And that you were on somebody else's live, or you on your live today talking about how I flipped that headline.
Loved it, man.
And for those who are paying attention, tell us this, can you refresh those people who don't know what's going on in that story about what we talked or what you talked about?
Yeah, so basically, I did an open letter to white people, probably like a month and a half back.
Okay.
And I was basically talking about how, back in the day, my mom used to be like, "Hey, don't bring no white girls home." You know what I'm saying? So I wrote that in an open letter because it was basically my lack of trust for white people at this current moment. Because like they make fun. Everybody makes fun of this whole Karen situation, right? But, I just feel like this, and no disrespect, Ben. With it, I just feel like at times, like how we have, cancer cells in our body or whatever like that. I kind of feel like that's how it is with racism and white people, because anything triggers these Karens or Kevins or whatever you want to do now. So that was my situation when I wrote that. There was time I even had friends I just had to cut off because of situations like this now. When people talking about Black Lives Matter and then they want to rebuttal it or whatever, what about all lives and all those other crazy stuff? And I'm like, wait, first of all, listen, just because we're saying Black Lives Matter doesn't mean we hate white people. We're not anti-white. You know what I mean? I can't walk outside without looking over my shoulder every day. Scoop can't, and you, Silk, you can't either. But Ben can, and that's what we need, and that's what has to end. Yeah, we need to end that, and that's when Black lives would really matter. So when I wrote that, I wrote it about it, and then Scoop, he flipped it and turned it into an article like, "Yo, Lakers brother said, moms wouldn't let white people in the house."
Scoop don't flip it. Scoop don't flip that. You can't give Scoop a little inch. He gonna flip it for sure. But you know what? Funny? Yeah, and it's funny because and it's funny because me and Scoop go way back, and me and Scoop be talking about trades and what's gonna happen. Now, Scoop, I'm always right. I'm always right, so don't play me. But we talk about stuff that happened before, with stuff that should happen and how it should go down. And yeah, Scoop is a flipper.
But you know what I like about it though? I'll tell you what I like about it and what I respect about it so much. He calls and tells you that he wants to do it. He actually asks for permission. I'm like, that's cool. We just did a show. I was just on his show. We was talking about the Knicks. I called the Knicks, a dumpster fire. He ran with that one line, and I'm on your head about this New York hiring too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about.
The fact that they didn't hire Mark Jackson.
I see. That's where we at. That's where we at. And I'm not saying it because of my guy. I'm saying it makes the most sense. And I'm looking forward to somebody giving him opportunity because the boy could coach. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not boy, it's my guy, but he could coach. And I'm just saying, I don't know you talked about it before, Scoop. I don't know why he's not getting the coaching thing. I'm kind of confused on it. But I mean, that makes sense. And I think that they're not really going to have a good season like that until they do it. I feel like it's a perfect match, and the people and the players respect them and they play for them. And I've seen it firsthand. So I whoever take a chance on them is going to be great. But I thought that New York would definitely do it. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. But
they passed on him the last time when they hired Fizdale.
Yeah. I think they just want to. I don't know if they have a grudge against him. I think they just want to do everything but that. I don't know why. Maybe it's the owner or something like that. But we'll discuss that another time. But
off camera, yes, we will discuss.
But I think that the Knicks situation is that they should have hired a coach that can develop these young players.
Absolutely.
Thibodeau's good. It is not a knock on Coach Thibodeau or Coach Woodson. And it's funny, Scoop. You got to look at back. February 22nd, 2014, I called the Knicks a trash organization. I trashed Michael Woodson too, but whatever. And it was like Wall Street Journal and everything, right? So but I think that they got a bunch of young guys and they need to just develop them players and stuff. I think that's my opinion on it. And, Tibbs, he's a coach. He should coach veteran players, you know what I mean? But I hope he proves me wrong. Hopefully he can adapt to, what's lying ahead of for him. Because he's in New York and it ain't gonna be easy.
No, sir, it is not gonna be easy.
Go ahead.
Eddie changed his name. I love it.
It was bothering me, Scoop. We can't have the world's not big enough for two Scoops, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't. You know what I'm saying?
So,
go ahead.
Were you listening when we were talking about Mark Jackson earlier? We were talking about. We've been on for We've been on for 2 hours. We were talking a few minutes about Mark, probably like an hour ago.
I didn't hear it. No, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it.
We were talking about coaches getting second chances. And we're talking about kind of a moment in time and race relations. I dropped in. I'll go drop it in again. A podcast that I thought was really cool with Nate Duncan with Perry Bacon Jr. from 538. They're talking about racial disparities in coaching front office jobs in the NFL and the NBA.
Yeah.
And the point I remember that Perry made that I think other people have made before is one of the biggest differences from an opportunity standpoint between white coaches and executives and black coaches is white coaches get second chances.
Yes, yes,
And
absolutely.
we even used, and this again, I think we all think Tom Thibodeau is a good coach, so this isn't a knock on Tom Thibodeau. That's the case.
Absolutely.
Like Tom Thibodeau was getting a million, and the white coaches get a second chance, and they often get a second chance right away. You're done at one team, and you don't have to go to work for ESPN for 5 years in between. You go get another job.
Absolutely.
And obviously, this isn't the case for every coach across the board. We're talking earlier. I mean, Doc Rivers went from the Celtics right to the Clippers, and there are other examples of that.
Yeah.
But like Mark Jackson is like an obvious example of a guy who had some success, and it's him. I mean, what was his last year in Golden State? Like 2013, 14 or something. I mean, he's been out. He's been looking for I think been looking for an NBA head coaching job for 6 years, right?
Absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah. Still, do you think you'll get one?
You know what? I think somebody is going to do it. I think with just the problem, and not to get political, I got people everywhere, all colors, all races, all whatever, and so it's not even that. Like I salute any coach that get a job. It's a tough thing to get, but I think he is going to get one because I think us as the people who's watching has to make that an effort, because I think it's clearly they're doing something to him. Just like almost like, I'm not going to say, well, I'm not even going to put that in the atmosphere, but just from everybody, the owners and all that type of stuff, I think that they clearly are friends, and they're like, okay, some coaches, they just, if you don't play, you don't walk the same beat, they probably, make that call like, yeah, don't, really don't mess with him. But I'm a firm believer he will, because no matter what they say about him, this is a real guy. That's one of the best guys I've met in my life. And so I don't know why he not. He did everything right. He developed the people. I was around him when they had Steph Curry, and they came out, and they had all the players. Draymond, he wanted Draymond. They didn't really want him, and so he's a player's coach, and the players, they rally around him. And they was, don't get me wrong, Steve Kerr is definitely a good coach as well, but I think the way they did him, it's kind of bad. But I think that he is going to get one eventually. I don't know what's the holdup on it, but we'll have to find out what that is. It's clearly something that's wrong. You know what I'm saying?
There was a report that came out about a week or two ago. It wasn't my report, but there was a report that KD does prefer Mark Jackson, potential head coach for the Knicks.
Yeah.
He did grow up literally down the street from Atlantic Avenue. It would be a homecoming of sorts, assuming that the Brooklyn Nets do not bring back Jacques Vaughn. I have reported that there are guys out there like Phil Handy, who's currently coach with the Brooklyn Nets, assistant coach with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
I could tell you this, I've not said this publicly, but when I was told by someone in the know within the Nets that Kenny Atkinson was brought in, was hired to be fired to let Jason Kidd come back. And years ago, and Kenny Atkinson exceeded expectations.
Okay.
So the issue with Atkinson was he and Kyrie and Kevin Durant maybe weren't on the same page. I'm told. That being said, Jacques Vaughn is a filler. There is conversation about Greg Popovich. There is conversation about, if you think about the coaching tree of Greg Popovich, Sean Marks was coached by Greg Popovich. Jacques Vaughn did come out of the Spurs system. Kyrie Irving and Phil Handy have a relationship.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of different moving parts that are there. They're giving Jacques Vaughn the just due to let him coach out what's going on in the bubble right now. But the belief among some people, that Pop could be a candidate. On one side, there is also a belief. I know Kevin Durant. We talked about race relations. Kevin Durant wants to see more people of color within the organization. He wants to see more people of color, even ball boys. He wants to see. There's certain things he'd like to see. So everybody thinks one thing that Kyrie says goes. Some people think everything that KD said goes.
Yeah.
Ultimately, Sean Marks and the upper management do have the last say. It would be cool to see Mark Jackson in that position because he's a home guy.
Scoop, is there any chance that
Mhm.
Vaughn is going to be the coach next year? Are they giving him a real look, or are they definitely going with somebody else?
From what I've heard, they're saying they're going to give him, the opportunity, and there's a space where even if someone does come in as the head coach, they may retain him as an assistant coach. That has been conversation behind the scenes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's a
Hmm.
deal where like the players should make that coach look pretty good, right? I mean,
Hmm.
your record, they're going to be a lot better next year than this year, no matter who the coach
Well, can see that.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's a good job, Dev. Dude, so this is back to like Mark Jackson thing for a second. It's interesting. Landon had this comment. We were talking earlier about Silk, about coaches who get replaced and then the new guy wins. So we talked about like Dwayne Casey.
Yeah.
Gets fired. Nick Nurse comes in and wins a championship.
Yeah.
Landon had this comment. He said Steve Kerr is to the Warriors after Mark Jackson what Phil was to the Bulls after Doug Collins.
Yeah.
Landon, jump back in here. To me, it's a little bit different in that these three deals. The Nick Nurse thing is different because he had Kawhi Leonard and Dwayne Casey didn't.
Yeah.
So you don't know what Dwayne Casey would have done with Kawhi. To me, at least, on Landon's point, like Phil Jackson's obvious. It's obvious that the Bulls would not have been what they were if Doug Collins was still the coach. Maybe they would have been. I'm not even saying they wouldn't have won a championship, but like I don't think anybody thinks the Bulls would have won 6 championships with Doug Collins. On the Warriors thing, maybe they would have won a couple things with Jackson. I mean, it was the same team, but as we were talking about earlier, when Jackson was coaching him, those guys were all really young. Those guys were all in their second or third year in the league. So like, I guess what I'm saying is I don't buy that the Bulls would have gotten really, really great under Doug Collins. And I think the Warriors potentially could have been great under Mark Jackson. I don't know.
Okay.
You know
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll tell you. So here's the thing about it. So I'm not speaking out as an outsider, right? So I'm speaking clearly on the development and buying into it, right? So this is where I know that it's and they know it as well too. So developing. So if you know that the Warriors was really bad, right? And then Mark got them and they got better and better and better. Now, if I told you in 4 years, I think we're going to championship. Now they was trying to win a championship that final year, but the only problem is they was just clearly outmatched. And they had never been there before, but this is how Mark operates. Because I was with him and I was there a lot of times. I was in the gym watching him play, practice, whatever. He is like a person that develops you. So he's gonna have a step. So first he's gonna get to know you. He's gonna learn about your family. He's gonna have you buy into the system. And I clearly believe that they could have won it the second or third year, but I know that he had a plan to develop them. And I think that they just seen it and just cut it short, almost like this. If I was to tell you, if it's a really good team and we like one game away from winning, and you got and the other team you're playing against is truly you way better than them. I could put anybody, like prime example, the Warriors. Let's say when Luke came in, whatever, right? The Warriors was the Warriors. They were so good.
Yeah.
You could have, maybe not you, Scoop. You probably couldn't coach, but my man could probably Deeper probably would be able to do it, right? And would have still won it. That's why it didn't miss a beat when Luke. Now, how good a coach is Luke? Okay, well, we go back to saying this. You just told me, how did he get a job so quick from the Warriors, then to the Lakers, then to the Sacramento Kings? Okay, clearly the numbers don't add up.
Luke Walton?
Yeah, Walton. Okay, Walton. And then
You know why?
Well, no, but I'm saying I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say that we got to go by the actual facts. So the facts, I'm saying, even with the coach from Denver, how did he get a job so fast there when he was on a losing record as well? So I'm just realizing that yes, it is. I mean, it's the elephant in the room, but it is. It seems like it's a color thing, but
It's that, but it's also the agent who represents all those high-ranking assistant coaches that comes
absolutely. Facts too. Facts. Yeah.
That has, because his name is going to carry weight.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you that I promise you that the Warriors would have won a championship. I just watched how the people bought into it. They just, you know what it is? It's almost like if you took a young LeBron at 18, he could probably win it, but the mature LeBron's gonna win it. See, it's a step. So you got to tell yourself, I watched them literally buy into the system, and they didn't believe they could win. They was overmatched and everything, and they bought into it, and they was gonna keep buying into it because they'll come by the house, they'll come by the church, they bind into him as a person, and they will run through a wall from. And I think they was turning the corner. Here's a fact for you. They wanted to trade Steph Curry, right? Mark would not let him do it. They want, because I give you a little insight. We probably know already, and you can ask Chris about this. Chris, my guy too. They was going to trade Chris for Steph Curry and a couple more players, and Mark would not let it go. Chris Paul, and Mark wouldn't allow it. That he loved the other shooter, Klay Thompson. He loved Draymond Green. That's his guy. Nobody expected him to be in a starting lineup. Mark gave him a chance. So I think that he would have did it. If not to championship, they got close to it. So yeah, I feel like they did do that. I'm almost there. We almost there, and then pull it under his rug, whatever. So and reasons unknown, I don't know about that part, but I believe that he definitely would have got there.
That I just looked up. I forgot how good the 2013-14 Warriors were. 51-31. That was Mark's last year. They went 51-31.
Yeah.
Before that, they were okay too. 42-35. He went in from 3 years. You guys probably know this, but I'll just read it off the screen.
Yes, please do.
He went 2011-12 for 2013-14. He was there 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
He went 23-43 his first year.
Yep.
47-35 his second year.
Yep.
51-31.
Okay.
His third year in 2013.
Yep. Think about it.
So like someone who's like much more of like a stat head than us should build on this. But this is the model I'd love to look at. What would a team that goes from 20 games below 500 to 12 games above 500 to 20 games above 500 in 3 years with a young core, what would you project them to be the next year? Like you would if those guys are young and they're getting better, you would probably project them just to naturally get better. So then what happens? They fire Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr comes in, and they're much better, and they win the championship in 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like some of that progression might have had. What's unknown is like how much of that progression would have happened anyway. And the answer is they would have been pretty freaking good in 2014-15 anyway. Like that team was not going to be trash in 2014-15 under Mark Jackson.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
And you don't know whether they want to win a championship. Credit to Steve Kerr, right? Where you win those championships. You win the championships, you get the credit for it. But like it's an unknown. It's definitely an unknown.
So I salute Steve Kerr because good guy too as well. So it's not the coach. So but I also go back and said they would have, because it was a system in place, and the coach was good, but it was what they had became. And I think that I know it was hours and hours and on the phone with people having problems, and he sowing into their life, right? And they really believing they can get better. I'm talking about put them in positions. Like I think one time he started 5 rookies, right? And they competed. So everybody's on the team was competing. I think that they had that. So once you got that, you could put anybody but Scoop on the sideline, and they had a chance to.
You a hater.
No, you my guy. But put anybody on the sideline, I think, and not anybody, but somebody who could know what they're doing, and I think they had a chance. And I think, but I'm telling you, when I watched with Mark, it was something I never seen before, and I had a chance to see it close up, and I was like, man, he had me wanting. Listen, I was way out of it, but I was practicing with the players sometime. He had me wanting to suit up and play. Like I'm like, I can't give you nothing but a couple fouls, but I would be willing to do it for you, but. It's just how he buy into you, and anybody around him asks him. Steph love him, KD love him. So I just think like all the players get it, and he's a true players coach. He's a point guard, know how to run a system. So I think he would have got there. And so the next person, mark my word, whoever give him a job, he's gonna do the same thing.
I got 2 questions for you. So,
Yeah.
who are you going against in practice?
I was going against Jared Jack.
Why?
And guess what? And Jared Jack made me realize I couldn't play that good at that point. So
Really?
yeah, I was all of them. Draymond, everybody was on the same different teams, but I think because Jared Jackson from Louisiana, he made it a point to be like, yeah, so you're not gonna don't play with my profession. Like I don't play with your rapper career. You know what I'm saying? So, but now Jared's my guy though too. But yeah, he was going in. He was going.
I used to have so much fun going up against Ron's teammates, man. When Ron was on the Pacers,
Yeah.
I used to have so much fun. Like,
Yep.
like, oh my god! Like I caught what's his name, James Jones. I caught him. I caught him under the rim, something vicious, and just like stared him down. I was like, basically, because when Ron was going through his suspension thing, I was just here with him. We working out, getting him better. We in the gym 4 times a day.
Gotcha.
And I'm just getting my basketball career started. But I stopped because when I seen that situation, I'm like, I got to be there for him. He's alone, and like he was struggling with being suspended for a year. So we just worked out every day. We worked out with all the players that wasn't getting in the game, like all the end of the bench guys, like James Jones and everybody. Sean Edwards, Fred Jones, and stuff like that. So it was cool going up against NBA guys. I had a lot of success. And stuff. I used to talk big shit, man. Like. Hey, Scoop, you can ask Ron. You can. Ron will tell you. Like I used to run them boys off the floor, man. Like it was fun.
Should have got you.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas. I caught Ron too.
Okay.
All right. So back then, my playing weight, I'm 6'4". My playing weight 265, 270. That's like my absolute best shape. I can't get no smaller or nothing like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm stronger than Ron. I'm very everybody say Ron is strong, but like I'm stronger than him. So I used to body him down.
Yeah.
Get him under the rim and stuff like that. Defensive player of the year, my ass.
Yeah, exactly.
2 things. Were you at the brawl at the Palace that night?
No, I wasn't there.
Okay.
I was actually in Boston. I was at a basketball tournament in Boston. I wasn't there, unfortunately, but I seen it, and when I seen it, I felt so bad because like I wasn't there. Normally, when you see Ron, you see me. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't there. I wasn't there to protect him and stuff. And
gotcha.
He got over it. He made him and the guy is actually friends. But I don't want to see the guy walking down the street.
Oh, the guy he attacked his friends? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that, man. Like, that's why if you ever seen The Quiet Storm, you notice I wasn't in it. Because of my, I know because of my words or what I really wanted to say. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just so angry. I'm like, yo, you're just gonna jump him behind like that and stuff. And I'm from the streets, so like my whole thing was like, I want to kill this dude. Like I never had that in my heart before. So to be perfectly honest, I never had that kind of feeling in my heart before about hurting somebody to the point where I wanted to take their life until. Like every time they talk about that dude, his name is John Green. Like so, like I was like, you got to answer to me, man. Like what I mean, that's how I always feel about it. That's how I always carry with it because it was weak, man. It was weak to just whatever.
Gotcha.
Well, here is my actual question. You gave me more than I wanted to know. I'm thankful for that. However, this is what I actually wanted to know. What I actually wanted to know is when you look at pictures, William Wesley was the guy who actually got Meta. He is executive vice president of the New York Knicks. I've always wanted to know this, and after I got off the phone with your brother on Scoopy Radio, I realized I didn't ask him this question. What was their relationship prior to the brawl at the Palace? Do you know?
I don't know, man. I just think that Wayne Wesley is one of them guys that was always around.
Yeah.
Well, he's not when I say around, not around Ron, but he's just an NBA guy. You know what I mean? He's a nice dude, really cool brother and stuff like that. But he was just there, and then like you know, you see him with LeBron too when LeBron was in high school. So, you know, this guy, he's connected, like, you know, but to see him, you know, helping out with the Knicks and stuff, I think that's pretty dope, man. I wish him nothing but the best and everything. You know, hopefully, you know, they can get a developmental guy in there and make them boys better though. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, other than that, I don't know anything about that man.
So here's my question for you.
Yeah.
There's a
Hold on,
misconception with Mark
Thank you,
Jackson.
Low. Trying to get it together for you guys. Go ahead.
There's a perception with Mark Jackson that he's just so churchy and he's into the church. I know the deal. There's a perception that part of his agreement with players was that they had to go to church in order to be on their team. Can you debunk that myth?
I wouldn't say had to go to church. Most of the people was heavy in the church already. Like they you know, they did that. So they had those theories together, like the same, all the same. So, you know, he would just have that. He would just invite that as an option because he does it. But all the people, but so, you know, it's always like one or two players who's not that way. So they kind of like maybe a different religion or something like that. But he never excluded them like that. I guess they felt like you had, you know, they felt some type of way because he was doing it. I don't think it was that. I think it because he started out winning and it was doing good. I didn't think it was a problem. I think it's just probably from time to time, it just, you would hear that because I think he was passionate about it. He was real passionate about it. And so I think people who maybe not felt some type of way. So I thought that I mean, he had to dial it down because he loves God, you know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, I think you have to be cognizant of what's going on. And so I think that's probably was the only thing. But other than that, I don't think it was too bad. I was there a lot of times for and I loved it. And most of the players did love it as well too.
That's real.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you had like this close relationship with Mark Jackson. That's actually pretty cool, man.
No, Mark's my cool. guy. No, he's one of the best people I think. But he also instilled a lot in me as well, like that. I mean, I came from, you know, where I came from, but the amount of time spent, but the amount of time learned. That's why I know that he's definitely gonna get it. And when he does, you're gonna see a whole different change of a team. Basically, I promise you, it's something special. If you ever, I mean, Scoop, I don't know if you've been around like that, but he if you ever like had a chance to communicate with him and talk to him,
I was with him January 25th.
Thanks for trying to get out of the way.
Lakers Sixers.
Go ahead. That's better.
I was with him January 25th.
Uh-huh.
Lakers Sixers. The night LeBron broke his record.
Yeah.
And we spoke briefly because he was on the broadcast. That was an ESPN Saturday night game. Yeah. And we have mutual people through New York, etc. We're not incredibly close, but we've met. We've had conversation in the past. You're definitely closer to him than I am, but we know each other through other people and in passing.
Yeah.
But I empathize with him because, you know, you want to see somebody be successful. And I do have a couple more questions for you. You being from New Orleans, two things. You watched Anthony Davis from rookie year to when he left and went to LA. I'm curious to know your thoughts on his development, one, and two, did you get a chance to meet Ric Flair at Pelicans game?
Hilarious. That's your two questions, bro. That's what you want to go with?
That's what I want to know.
No, Anthony definitely watched the development. I knew he's going to be good. I didn't realize he's going to be that good. But I did realize he has all the attributes to be great, basically, right? So I just didn't realize how in tune he is to getting better. You know what I'm saying? Most people, you know, just they settle on, oh, I'm this good, whatever. Like with LeBron, I think KD, Paul George, like people like that, they're not settling to be just okay. So I'm saying, so AD is like, okay, what am I working? Okay, I need my free throws not good. Okay, I'm being a free throw, shooting 1,000 free throws. I need to get big. I'm being a gym. I'm hiring a trainer. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So I didn't realize. But you got to think about it. You got to have those attributes as well. You 6'11".
No.
What did you do, Scoop?
Nothing. There you go. You said what now? 6'11" and what? Unmute yourself. You're mute. Don't play me, Phil.
Together, man. He's trying to get it out. Okay, cool. So he's 6'11", could to block shots. Good free throw shooter. Now he can score now. Then he's explosive. So it's kind of like when you get all those attributes. I mean, obviously he's an all-star and all that stuff as well. So, that was just dope to see him just constantly, gradually grow and then put on for the city as well. You know what I'm saying?
So Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When's the first time you met Ric Flair?
Me, I think I actually met Ric Flair like in Miami somewhere. I think I met him in Miami. Honestly, it's crazy, which is weird. Yeah, I think I did in Miami somewhere. Just a quick brief. Was it somewhere in Florida? I think I met him. It was a while ago, but yeah, a little while guy.
I've never met him, and so for me, he's fascinating to me. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, no, Ric Flair. He's definitely.
What's
something.
he like?
Yeah. That's your question, Ric Flair. Okay.
What's he like?
Huh?
What's he like?
He's a wild boy. He's Ric Flair. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't hanging out with him like that. You know what I'm saying? I just knew of him. Met him a couple times, and that was it. Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Yes, sir.
Did you ever think New Orleans would get a basketball team?
I didn't think so. I'm glad we did get one. But yeah, I didn't think so for a while. But yeah, the city loves. I would like to see us support a lot more with our teams. But yeah, glad to have one though for sure.
When I look at New Orleans, I've been twice. It's one of my favorite cities, however.
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans is an amazing city.
It's good. It's a good city to. It's a good city for sure to visit, to live. Yeah, you got to get used to it. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot, we almost got shit, I almost got my whole team hurt by the police when I was out there, man, playing AAU basketball. Yeah, man. I was on the AAU team with Lenny Cook. So
yeah.
I'm on the AAU team with Lenny Cook. So it's me, Lenny Cook, Curtis Sumter. If y'all remember the name, Jason. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so we made it to the championship game. We got called. We was in the University of New Orleans actually. And we got called so many N-words by those parents, man. I was like 17, 18 at the time. Mm-hmm. And when I say like I set it off. Like I like in the fourth quarter, and it was like, you know what, it's over, man. We getting tired of being called, niggas, go back to what I mean, where you come from and stuff like that. I just took the chair. First parent I seen.
You was wild. Okay, you trying to get
I wilded out, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't regret it. Then Lenny spazzed out and stuff like that. We had a rough night that night, man.
Yeah.
But other than that, New Orleans was amazing. I love the city and stuff. Like the food was good. Bourbon Street was popping, and what I mean. Like, I like y'all sound. You know what I mean? I got that, that bounce, man. You know what I'm saying? I like your sound. So like, do you still do music or like or you just
I'm actually gonna drop I dropped another record like last year. It did really good. This one I got a couple of little surprises on it. So I do it more for the love, but actually we got like a dope fan base to where they just support us on anything. We was on tour for like on this big tour. Like 7,000, 8,000 people plus. So the fans kind of group with the fans is good. And then but yeah, music wise, I'm always gonna be doing music. Sometimes I take it more serious than others. This next project, I'm really taking it, putting a lot of features on it. And I think now that the documentary stuff is out, people know the story that unfortunately in a bad time where we can't really, meet with the fans like we want to, but that's gonna happen too as well. But yeah, music definitely. I got one
question. I got one question about y'all too. you don't have to answer if you don't want to.
Yeah,
but
but-
like, how come No Limit and Cash Money never linked up, man? Because like two fire camps. You know what I'm saying? I just always wanted to know it. You don't have to answer it. But I always want to know it.
Nah, it's you know what? We in the same city. I think it's just mutual respect. I don't know, like I don't know why. I think we closer now than was before, but I think both of us was just doing our own thing.
Yeah.
And it was just like we wasn't tripping on pretty much anything.
It was crazy because I never beef, so it wasn't like you never heard like no beef or nothing like that. It was just like, all right.
I think what it is once kind of like you in the same city, they expect you to beef and all that stuff. And I think that we never really beef like that. We just kind of like, y'all do your thing, we do our thing, we keep it pushing. But truthfully, I like them. It was one time I think that I was at BET one day, and I got a limb of love for him, respect for him. So especially Lil Wayne, one of my favorites and all that stuff. But I was actually in the same building as Lil Wayne, and you could see us like, oh, should I talk to him? I should talk to him. Like, it was kind of like we was filling each other out. And realistically, we grown men, we should be able to be like, what up? Let's whatever. It's all love sometimes. So,
Like, so do you ever regret like not collabing like on some music? Because just think about it. At Child Hype, I was at the height at the same time. Like the South runs it. Let's be honest, the South runs it right now. Just like I just always imagine I have these conversations with my boys all the time. If Cash Money and No Limit would have linked up, at the fire times, man, it would have been over.
Now we it still might be, I know it's a long time overdue, but we might be looking out to do something soon. I mean, we in the same circles, and we kind of like just barely miss each other, but it's all love. There ain't no like, it's all on both sides. It's mutual respect, though.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I always reference this line whenever we link.
Yeah.
I ain't the CEO, but I ain't far from it. So if I ain't far from CEO, then what?
You have a CEO. I ain't far from having CEO money. I ain't. I mean, think about it. It's just that I've been there from day one.
Word.
So if it's a lot of money being made, I'm a businessman, so I'm getting mine too. I need to get mine as well. So, but I mean that's fair because I literally been there since it started, like literally before the first day. And I ain't talking about just like hey, I'm here. I'm talking about literally in the trenches with it. So yeah, I think I should be definitely compensated handsomely.
Here's the alley, here's the oop. Do you have any interest in potentially owning a small stake in the Pelicans or the Saints one day?
I do. I really do want to. I think at some point I am. And I say that to say, because I'm not familiar with like my basketball side of it. Was like I was really good coming up. I just, even with I think the Houston team, I was around them all the time. They kind of softly offered me a contract with the Houston team, whatever. But what they always offered me was like, I make that in one show. But if I would known now, I probably would have did it and just signed it, just to say I did it. But I was with them all the time, summertime, Pippen, Olajuwon, all of them we played. Now I was really playing at a high level. I just didn't take it serious. I was more raw. But they definitely
the Rockets.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Got an offer?
Yeah. Oh yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I definitely. Yeah. I was really balling though. I was really going. So I could have, but I just was like, oh nah, because they was trying to get me to like just like small contract. I got to be on the road for a whole year. Got to work out, train, hurt yourself. And I was like, nah, I get that in a show and a half. You know what I'm saying? So it was just me being kind of young, but I would have did it based on, if I would know now, I would have did it based on for the love. Back then I was you can ask around. I was getting it in. Yeah.
Scottie Pippen, Silk the Shocker, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Everybody. I'm gonna see some footage of me playing with them. I got some stuff that was playing. Like you wouldn't be able to tell I wasn't a player, basically. Like I was, Allen Iverson, everybody. Ask Penny Hardaway. Penny, my guy. Penny knows. So yeah, it was just we do it all the time. I was probably the only player that wasn't in the NBA. They allowed me to play, but I was like one of them. So it was dope.
in your nephew Romeo's prime, in your brother's prime, in your prime, in a game of 21, who's winning?
Nobody's beat me, man, in my family.
Say what?
Nobody's beating my family, man, like that. Nobody.
Ooh, I was gonna say
You know what I'm
start.
saying?
I would have said start bench cut.
All right, start.
I know, but I'm saying, we all got different games though. So yeah, I think P could shoot. You know what I'm saying? Rome is like a real point guard, but you see the guns. I'm just messing. Yeah, it's all love. Now it'll just be a good game. I think could take pretty much all of us though.
That's real. That's real.
Humbly speaking, you know what I'm saying?
No. I'm gonna ask P tomorrow.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna say, but it's all good. Keep that. But now C was good too. My brother C was good too. You know what I'm saying?
Brother, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All of y'all hooping. This is very interesting.
Huh? Oh, he's good. He's good. We're trying to get him home this year, man. Not this year, early next year for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, free him, man. Free him.
Free the guy.
Yes,
Man.
Yes, sir.
I got to get it going in a minute, you guys. But definitely was good talking to you guys.
Thank you.
So thanks for coming on, man. Scoop, I got one more. I got my guy Rick in the green room. Rick and Silk can argue about Mark Jackson sometime because he said,
of course, no question.
No thanks,
my guy.
Head coach. Rick's gonna come. Rick's gonna come on. He's waiting patiently.
Okay.
Silk, you got anything you want to plug? Any?
We got the documentary. I was supposed to shoot a movie, but we postponed it to late August. New album coming out called Vito. Should be out in August. What else? Get back on the road, meet the fans. You can go to shopnolimit.com, whatever. Oh, Shop No Limit now for the merchandise, stuff like that. So yeah, whatever, man. Silk Shock, follow everything Silk Shock. You heard? Yeah.
My man.
Yeah. I mean, you get the biggest following out of all of us, so you don't really need our help. But make sure that Scoop has all the details, and we'll make sure that we get them out in whatever way we can. And dude, we're gonna be doing as many of these as we can. So
okay.
Soon.
All right, sounds good, bro.
All right. I'll talk to you.
Hi, Scoop.
All right, I'm gonna pipe it. Okay. And we get the 5-way for a minute. Now we go.
What an equal swap. What a fair trade that is.
Yeah, all right, we're subbing in.
Jeez.
Silk, you got to get on the PA here. Entering the show, Rick Rosen replacing Silk the Shocker. Did you ever think you would hear that phrase uttered on a live YouTube, Facebook Live, Periscope show?
Not once, and definitely not yesterday. I feel like I just came in on senior night. Like I've been averaging 2 minutes a game, and the blowouts, and it's senior night, and I'm getting my number called, and all the bench cheers because I never taken my warm-up pants off before. This is beautiful. I'm getting in. I'm high-fiving everybody. My mom made the drive down to the game. She's holding flowers and crying. This is awesome.
So you have players.
And then Ben's like, hey, Silk is personal friends with Mark Jackson. Here comes Rick. He's going to argue with him about why he's not a good coach. Like, oh my god.
Hey man, you threw it in there. I actually think it's we're not really going to have more of that debate. I actually think the more that I think about this is, I'm not saying that Mark Jackson's a better coach than Steve Kerr, but whether what the Warriors would have been with Mark Jackson as a head coach is like very, very curious to me. Because as I said earlier, I am convinced that Jerry Krause did the right thing to get Doug out and Phil in. No question about it. No doubt about it.
But isn't the Bulls and Phil and the Triangle just as much have the same parallels with the way Steve Kerr came in and embraced the 3-point shot and kind of had the ripple effect around the league? Like, can we say if Mark Jackson stays as the coach of Warriors that Brook Lopez is launching threes within 3 seasons?
Probably not. Which is probably why Kerr probably it's why Kerr as that coach was good. I mean, obviously good, kind of like state the obvious.
Yeah.
Like what you put in there, Rick, is the best argument for why it was the right thing. I just think they might have been really, really good anyway. Like I'm not saying that Jackson would have. I'm not saying the Warriors would have revolutionized the league, but like they were 20 games above 500 in 2014. Like they might have been really, really good anyway. You know?
Yeah, 100%. And and they were getting better personnel wise. Steve Kerr isn't going to come in and be like, what we got to do? We got to start David Lee and Andrew Bogut, and we got to work the ball. Like that was literally never going to happen. So they were trending in the right direction. I just think it's real. Like When I listen to Mark Jackson talk about basketball, I get smarter. And when I hear him talk about life, I get wiser. But I don't know if he's going to say shoot 35 threes and don't care about the results because he's a smart basketball guy. And that was at the time, that was just heresy. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Rick. How you doing?
Hey, what's
How you doing, Rick? How you doing? Nice to meet you. Man.
Rick and Rose, what's up, man?
Salute, Scoop. You've been doing a great job holding it down. I've been watching in the background for 3 hours. You got a basketball game going on too. It's crazy.
Clippers.
So let me give Rick's resume. Rick is on here in part because he's the modern godfather of the heavy YouTube channel, which we've kind of turned back on for sports for the first time in 3 years. And he's been doing some consulting via text with me on like how to do some of this stuff. So appreciate that. And Rick works, you can plug Boom Fantasy.
So we've actually changed to Boom Sports. I just want to kibosh this.
All right, get the name of the company right would be a good thing for me to do. And then when Rick was with us, wrote a lot of sports betting, wrote a lot of NFL, wrote some soccer for a decent chunk, a lot of sports betting, a lot of fantasy. I was talking about, Scoop and I on our preview earlier, we were talking about this line with Lake. We should talk about, we talked a little betting here. So the Lakers are giving 4.5.
Yeah.
Now they're, at least on my feed, down 7. So the Lakers are kind of in trouble here. And then I said earlier,
What's the third quarter?
yeah, no, they'll be. I'm not saying they're going to lose, but like if I had the Clippers plus 4.5, I might be like,
Gotcha.
starting to be a little bit intrigued by that. Okay, so Rick, give us a plug here. Boom Sports. What are you? What should our listeners and viewers know about what you're doing at Boom Sports?
So Boom Sports, we are putting money in the hands of people watching sports. Right now, we're pushing NBC Sports Predictor. That's our partnership with NBC Sports. Every week we have golf tournaments and NASCAR contests, and our partnership with Penn National Gaming and Barstool Sports called NASCAR Finish Line. You make picks, takes you less than 90 seconds to play. You can win $50,000. It's totally free. You just got to be of legal age to play. People will continue to accuse me of being a scam, but it's got NBC's name on it. I don't see how it could get any less scammy. We're giving away $50,000 for a perfect score every week we're playing, and we have like super exciting stuff coming in the next 2 weeks that I am legally not allowed to discuss. But it's at Play Boom Sports and Boom Sports and Boom Sports Live, and we're really rolling as sports betting becomes legal. And it's funny you talk about the Lakers line because FanDuel Sportsbook was running a promo for the first night of NBA season, and every 1,000 people that bet on the Lakers, they move the line forwards a little bit. So right now I am sweating Lakers plus 51, which if you know anything about spreads is absolutely absurd. It's absurd, but I feel confident about it.
Lakers plus 51.
Yeah, as a promo line. So every 1,000 people that bet on the Lakers, they moved the line over. So it started like what you said, the standard line, a couple points and a half, and then it just started moving. And then it's basically trying to get you free money because you're going to dump that money to FanDuel back eventually once full games start. But aside from the spread, what I'm really curious about is the total, because I was following a lot of really sharp NBA analysts that said that the pace and the true shooting of some of these warm-up games was way up there, and that players had kind of settled into the bubble life. But we were really seeing things slow down. And granted, I don't necessarily put the Pelicans in this category, but I'd say we have 3 really good defensive teams tonight. So it's interesting that the totals aren't there. I was wondering if some smarter basketball people could help me out there.
What is the total for this? Was like
220.
Yeah.
So we're 90 points off with a quarter left.
So they'd go probably under. It should probably go under. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I checked my Twitter and it's like 15 GIFs about LeBron playing defense. So I guess that's what's happening.
So it's GIFs, not GIFs. GIFs.
What did I say?
You said GIFs.
GIFs.
I just spell the letters out, man, because I don't know what people say.
To me, it's what makes you happy. Let people enjoy things. I'm not in again. Life's too short. There's too much stuff going on for me to fight someone over GIF and GIF. They make me smile. I make you upset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, tell me something.
Yes, sir.
No, I gotta ask Mr. Artest question, but I'm gonna fit something. No, I am, because I actually have a question about numbers.
Narcissist.
But this hit. I don't want to lose the start, and I want to get it out before I lose it. You know, I'm getting younger. So you, Dad, your brother recently talked about supposeds as it relates to when LeBron played that game against Michael Jordan. It was a picture that went up back in like March, April on the internet, and everybody was talking about it. I'm very fascinated because we debunked when it happened. From your perspective, when your brother played defense on LeBron, on Kobe, on Michael, because he's had the distinction having played defense on all three of those guys, where do you feel your brother had to make the biggest adjustment guarding someone LeBron James's size? Because he's built like a tank, just like Metta World Peace.
Yeah. I think that's a great question. Ron, LeBron get his. Ron just wanted him to take, the same amount of shots. So if LeBron's going to get 30, Ron wanted him to take 28 shots. You're going to shoot, 12 for 28 or whatever like that, or 9 for 28 or something like that. That it was definitely different with LeBron. Guarding Kobe. Kobe's willing to go into the fire. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to bang back with you. Kobe, underrated strength. So Kobe just so skilled, footwork and everything. He used to give Ron a lot of problems. Obviously, and Michael Jordan, he footwork Ron too. Like he was very intellectual with getting success against Ron and everything. Ron just tried to bully and be stronger than everybody and stuff. But I'm surprised you didn't mention Brandon Roy, because Brandon Roy was like Ron's toughest assignment, the toughest one. In my opinion, in Ron's opinion, Ron never spoke against anybody in his entire life that, if anybody got the best of him, Ron be like, well, I had a bad night or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But he actually went on TNT when Craig Sager, rest in peace, interviewed him, and then Ron gave him an endorsement. I think Brandon Roy was the first person to actually have 40 points on Ron. I think that he was the first one, and like it really had Ron Ron really had to focus up. You know what I'm saying? So they could win the series. They could have lost the series, and it could have been Ron's fault because Brandon Roy was getting a lot of success and stuff the way he played. So I was surprised that you didn't mention him. But with LeBron, LeBron he's just so skilled, so strong, so fast, man. So it's like he's everything, and he's 3-1. So it's definitely kind of tough. Ron usually had to try to bully him and stuff like that. Earlier in his LeBron's career, Ron was able to do that, but then as LeBron started getting stronger, Ron's getting older and stuff at the same time. So I just wish they would have both met at the same time where they came up together. That would have been an interesting defensive assignment, because like these defenders today are not shutdown defenders. They just put a hand in your face and whatever, but Ron was able to lock you up, hold you down underneath your average and stuff like that. That's why when they be saying like, Kawhi Leonard, top 5 defenders of one of the best defenders of all time. They did a top 10 defenders list and Ron wasn't on it. I'm like, how? I'm like, Ron actually shut down all these scorers back
then.
They
don't know basketball. And if that's the case, I know they left out Bruce Bowen. I know they left out Shane Battier. I know they left out Gerald Wilkins.
Yeah. And I think Ron after Ron got the reputation, it hurt his career. He should supposed to have been on way more than, I think he was on like 6 all defensive teams. I think that that actually hurt his career. So it looks different, but the players know the respect is there.
And my follow up to that is, how did Ron go from getting elbowed by Kobe to his teammate the following season?
Because Ron and Kobe go back since like 1994. During the AAU days, when
God Shammgod in them.
Yeah, so Ron played high school basketball with God Shammgod, by the way. They played in the same high school team together at LaSalle Academy. So Ron was on this team where it's called Aim High. It's actually Kenny Smith's AAU program, and Ron was young freshman on the team. And he was just in there to defend Kobe and stuff. And I know Ron always say the story. I think he said the story before to Kobe. Back in the day when the Best Damn Sports Show period was out, and Ron interviewed Kobe. And so Ron was like, "Yeah, you came off the bench. I mean, I came off the bench, but you still gave me 50." I think Ron was just juicing it up for the TV because that actually did not happen.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because Ron said it himself, but I think Ron was just fronting for the TV because that actually did not happen. You know, Kobe didn't give Ron 50 when Ron came off the bench or whatever. Ron actually gave him a tough time, and that's what actually that was one of the games where Ron started getting eyes on him from like, you know, college coaches and everything. It was one of those games that was like one of them and stuff. So, you know, but yeah, him and Kobe go way back, and you know they had great competition over the years, and you know, of course they had the almost fight, but they wasn't going to fight. Kobe respects you more when you get in his face. You know, Kobe's like any other good basketball player. You know, like me, I used to bully my teammates all the time, and then there was some teammates I couldn't bully. One of my college teammates named De Niro Rice, I couldn't bully him, so we rolled together. You know what I'm saying? And you know that's just how it is with basketball. You know, you're a best player. You're gonna test players. And you're going to test players, and then you're going to see if you're going to fight players or whatever. And players is going to test you, and you're not going to back down. So Kobe like that, you know, Ron throwing elbow. Ron's willing to go through this, and all right, so let's get him on the team and stuff, you know. So yeah.
Mr. Rosen, I do have a question for you.
I'm here. I'm just soaking that in. That was awesome.
That's real.
Can I more for your question? I have one comment for Dan. You would co-sign that this is probably bullshit. That Ron, he's defensive player of the year one time. Like there must be, unless I got it here right, he's defensive player of the year in 2004.
Yes.
There must. This is another one. We were talking, Dan, earlier on about like 3 hours ago or whatever when we first started this. That I think LeBron should have way more than 4 MVPs. Like I think he should have like he's been the player in the year. He's been the best player in the league almost every single year. You could do probably a similar thing with Ron on the defensive player of the year, where there have to be a few years where you would look back and be like, Ron Artest was the best defensive player in the league and he didn't win the award.
You know what? I would disagree with that, to be honest, because you know, Ben Wallace definitely deserved those years. You know what I'm saying? He won. I think he won 3 or 4 or whatever. And then Dwight came along. Like when Ron got suspended, that's when it right there. You know, it was when he got the defensive player of the year. You know, that was at his 5th year in the league, you know, and he was right there. Now, if he didn't get suspended, he would have kept going on, getting that momentum. I think he probably would have had like at least 2 or 3. I think he probably would have had one during the Dwight Howard years and things like that. That's my opinion. But the brawl hurt him. It hurt him.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, and it's a good point about Ben Wallace. We were talking earlier about that 04 Pistons team, and them being like
overrated.
No, so this guy dropped in. I think I give him credit because he's a Pistons fan. He was like, "This 04 Pistons are the best team ever." And I said, like, I think 04 Pistons were the worst championship team in the last like 20 years. But I give them, like, just from a talent standpoint, I give him credit for beating the Lakers that year with that roster against the Lakers roster. Like they overperformed that year, don't you think?
They got lucky that year because of, you know, chemistry issues. And I said it on my show earlier today, and I say it every time. And this is why I love basketball, because you can't master it. There's always something going on. And then a team could literally sneak in and snatch it from you right when you think you got it, you know? And that's what happened. Like sometimes it could be injuries that could kill a team. Like the injuries killed the Warriors. Team chemistry killed the Lakers that year, you know, with Karl Malone situation, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know, we ain't getting into that, which is wild. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers, they gave that championship away. You know, if Shaq had the focus, you know, as Kobe did or whatever, they were supposed to still win that thing, man. It was just a bad time. They lost 4-1. They wasn't there. They wasn't there. That was the Clippers there in the Laker uniform.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, one question for Rick. I'm sorry for cutting that off. I had to get the defensive player of the year discussion.
Oh, let's keep rolling.
All right, go ahead.
So Rick Roll,
Sir.
when you talk about, you seem like you know a lot about numbers from where So when companies do these over-unders, like betting odds of where somebody's going to go in free agency or who's going to win fights.
Yeah.
Why is it that they become so right? Like, how do they create that quantitative data?
Well, they just know more than you, and they know more than me. And like the most sports bettors will tell you that, like, if you were a professional sports bettor, you would boil down every NBA team into a spreadsheet, and then you would just pick the lines that you felt had the best value. A professional sports bettor would be like, I would never watch the games because I would get so emotionally attached. Like I have like soccer teams that I'll never bet on. I'll never bet on. And I'll never bet on the Nets because it'll drive me crazy.
The Nets or the Mets?
No, I'm a Nets fan. So I'll never bet on the Nets. That's just drive me. I just like to enjoy. I can only enjoy so much. Let me have this or struggle with this. It is crazy how close they get. I think that they just have so much data, so much computer power, and then you let the money do the talking. But we have crazy upsets all the time. Buster Douglas, you know what I mean? Like you just have things, that's two men in the. That's one of the reasons during the pandemic that I've been betting a lot of MMA, because you will get a lot of these big underdogs, and it's just two dudes in a cage. You know what I mean? Anything could happen. It's like there's no secret sauce. There's no getting hot. There's no getting into foul trouble. It's two dudes in a cage. It's crazy. So I do think the numbers. Okay, let me ask you. You're talking about fights. Do you have any odds in mind that you're thinking of?
Tyson and Roy Jones Jr.
That's not even a fight. Aren't they going to wear helmets?
Are they?
I know the gloves are going to be a different weight. The judges basically said if there's any blood, they're going to stop it.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That's going to be a promo fight.
Hunting.
However, I am locked into Nate Robinson, Jake Paul. Like that's the fight, right? Aren't we? That's what we're paying for. Like 100%.
That's the fight.
What? If you had Nate Robinson hitting a speed bag, I'd watch it on Twitch now. I want to see him train. I want to see him spar, and then I want to see two dudes that are in wildly different heights box each other.
Where's Nate training? We can maybe make that happen. Scoop, can we get Nate? Can we get some video on? Can we get Nate on this show next time? Live video of his training.
I'll call him.
You got him. Scoop and Nate are tight.
I don't see either dude working the jab. Do you know what I mean?
Where does he live?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Seattle.
Okay. So we have to get a crew out to Seattle. That might be hard in a pandemic. I don't know if I want to take that flight. If you told me he was training in, I guess it makes sense. He's a Washington, Seattle guy. If you said, "Oh yeah, he's training in Bridgeport, Connecticut," okay, great. I'll go.
Yeah, that would be where Nate Robinson would train. No, that lines up.
You never know. All right.
Jake Paul does seem like a Bridgeport guy, but no, neither of those guys are going to throw jabs. Like they are going to try to knock each other out to get on a highlight reel and to get another fight because it's awesome money. So I'm super looking forward to it. I mean, Tyson Roy Jones, I just laugh, right?
Yo, Ben, can we tell him the story now of how long we had to hold that in?
You knew?
Oh, yeah, you can say whatever you want. Sure.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
I mean, it's your story. No, Scoop had the scoop on it. But I mean, you can talk about it.
I love that.
He had something pre-written and ready to go and was on
That's
it
awesome.
fast. Yeah, I don't want to. You can be your own hype man.
I got a call about it, and they made the announcement like Thursday, and I knew about it like Monday.
That's awesome.
Monday, Tuesday, and so we pre-wrote it, and we did hella traffic on Heavy, and
Absolutely.
Under Ben's advisement, he told me to do two different posts, like one about the actual fight on pay-per-view, and one about Mike Tyson as his first fight in 15 years, and then we had a separate one where I pre-wrote where I knew Jake Paul and Nate were gonna box, we're gonna spar, and basically knew it was what weight class, how much, all that good stuff. And just being in a Heavy system, guiding me on how to write that particular stuff, because it's not just about headlines; it's having the right information. And
we're retweeted by Meta World Peace, by the way, 630,000 viewers, 650,000 viewers.
There's
a big blow up.
Our test social media machine.
The movement's wild.
The Meta World Peace account is
wild for this.
Get a commission on the millions in ad revenue that we're raking in on this show.
So first of all, that's a phenomenal scoop. Second of all, I want to retract. There's no helmets, but they will stop it if there's a cut, and they are using lighter gloves. But helmets, that nobody wants that. But that is an awesome scoop, because that's like the uplifting news that we need, even though it's a weird news story. Like, we weren't fully getting sports back, and we need something like that to galvanize the people. Let's watch old guys fight.
Yeah, pretty much. Daniel.
Sorry,
Yes, sir.
do me a favor, or do the show a favor. We are now, as we come up in the last 8 minutes of this game, because of the Meta World Peace Twitter account,
Yeah.
you're at like an all-time high in viewers. So set the scene for the new viewers just joining us, what we're doing here, and how they can find us going forward.
So we are heavy on Lakers, coming through Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, bunch of places. And I am Brandon Scoopy Robinson, senior writer at Heavy.com. We're with Ben Duty, who is managing editor at Heavy. We got Daniel Artest, who is the host of the Daniel Artest podcast. And we got my main man, Rick Rosen, talking all things numbers. I was not the best math student, but I can talk your ass off, particularly in the English class. So
I hate being numbers guy.
yeah, it's that guy. But man, it's good to kind of make this. This is pretty impromptu. Ben, you and I have been trying to bounce off different ideas since February, and this is the first time we've come live like this. It is 91 to 82. Now it's 93 to 80. Well,
Yeah, now the Lakers -4.5 with the under looks pretty good right now, Rick.
yeah.
We should have set this up where we were arguing as soon as the retweet came in. We've been entirely too nice to each other if you guys want a rapidly growing program. But I love it. I'm a numbers guy in that I'm sweating baseball games and they're all going great. Usually I'm way more upset 11:30 p.m. Around this time.
Daniel, answer me this question.
Yes, sir.
The 2011 Mavericks-Lakers series.
Yeah.
That was a huge upset. Was it or was it not?
This is how I look at it. Yeah, I look at it like this: like these players are NBA players. They're there for a reason, right? And before I give you my answer, you know what? This is like the 75th year of the NBA. Only 5,000 players are in there. So, I ever played in the NBA out of 75 years. These players are there for a reason. With with Dallas, they just got hot, and everybody just got hot. Like look what they dominated the entire West during those playoffs. What they swept the Lakers. They only lost like 2 games or whatever until they got to the finals. But they lost 3 games all playoffs or something like that, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So they was just a hot team. I wouldn't say it's an upset or nothing like that. Everybody was hot. That's what happens when you have a team that clicks, that's focused, that want to win championships. That's what you get.
So the answer to your question is what? To the question is what?
That no.
So wasn't it upset?
No, I don't consider it upset. I just consider it as a team that is hot.
You played in the summer league for the Sacramento Kings.
Oh yeah.
You played under Reggie Theus.
Yep.
What's the difference between Reggie Theus as head coach of Deering High on Hang Time and Reggie Theus as the head coach as the Sacramento?
Well, the Deering High head coach was actually more nice. The Sacramento Kings version of that coach was different. I will preference my language here and just say that he was not so nice. I feel like that him and the other coaching staff, except for this other coach that was there named Jason Ham, they pretty much just stunted me when I got there and everything. I was working out very hard, trying to, I was actually working hard just to get overseas. I was just trying to, and then I was in the gym with the assistant coaches for the Kings every day. When they was doing pre-draft workouts, I was just there being a body for the big fellas and stuff like that. Banging around with Big Baby and stuff when he came for his draft tryout or whatever. And so I was asked to, hey, you want to be on the Sacramento Kings team for the summer? And I was like, hey, did my brother do this? He was like, no. And I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, let's do it and stuff. So when I got there, it was just like the temperature changed. The coach wasn't really messing with me like that. I didn't really play that much. I practiced a little bit. And that was it. You know what I mean? Like when they play the practice games, because summer league is like this. Summer league is like what they did in the bubble. They just play 3 games against against other teams, pretty much. And but what they do is they just play 3 20-minute halves or whatever. And that's how they do it. So I was playing in those games, but I wasn't playing in the actual games like that or whatever. I could probably say I played in like 2 games and stuff. So once I realized what was going on, that I'm not going to play this game, I just enjoyed the Ryan Hollins, what's up, bro?
Hey, when the Artest brothers start talking, I start listening. Yo. Come on, man. Come on, dog.
So like when I realized that the coaches was not going to play me during the summer league, I was like, you know what? I've never been around this type of atmosphere before. I'm just going to enjoy the groupies, and that's just what I did the whole summer league, man. I was just like, that's it. They don't want to play me. I'll come to practice, and then I'm just going to just have my fun out here in Vegas. And I was already the man in Vegas anyway because I went to junior college out there.
Nice.
So I went to college out there, and it was funny because I had like my family out there. I got to Vegas because my ex-girl at the time, her mother. First cousin was Johnny McClain, who was married to Layla Ali. So I used to live with them and everything, They helped me get out of Queensbridge and everything, and got me to Vegas. And so that's how I got out there. So I stayed out there for like 3 years, and I came back as a homecoming, and it wasn't. So I was just like, bump it. I'm just gonna do me. Ryan, how you doing, man? Nice to meet you finally, man.
Yeah,
I see
Brian,
you X versus X and everything. Salute, man.
Yeah, bro. I'll be at the school with I was up all year long with little Ron, man, looking over him, just making sure he good. And Ron, that's family, man. Y'all whole crew is just different, man. Nothing but love for the Artest family, man. For real, man. Like humble, down to earth, and like Ron would always tell people like my uncle will punch me in the chest, make me get up and hoop. And we're like, no, you understand? My uncle like 300 pounds. He's knocking me out. See, like that, I ain't scared of nothing. And that boy is Ron, dog. That Ron, well, I guess he's met it now, but him and Ron, they're the same person. They're the same person. Say hi, Papi. Hey, they're the same. No, you can't have it. Daddy's talking to my friends. Yeah. But man, like they're the same person. I love it, dog. Like you talk to Ron Jr., you talk to Ron, like they be the same. Like it bugs me out, yo.
Lil Ron is like this. Lil Ron remind me of if we grew up in Bel Air.
Facts. Like, but doesn't care about nothing. Like, just like yo, like bro, like you driving a Tesla.
Yeah.
Facts, man.
That's my nephew. I love him, man. He came a long way with his game too. He started playing at like 13, but he rolled so quick. You know what I mean? When I had him in the gym, I was working him hard, and he just got better like so fast. I'm really happy for him.
Yeah, man. He's got so much talent. It's crazy. Like when I watch him, what I like that Ron did is like he lets him find out his own love of the game, but like he's more athletic than Ron. He more like Ron is stronger and just loved hoop, just played ball all the time. You know what I'm saying? Developed his game, but like Lil Ron just has raw athleticism. I seen him palm the ball and go dunk. Like it's crazy. So, nah, man, y'all family is dope, man. Like real people. Like I don't care what. Like real people that you know what I'm saying. Like that to me that speaks value. If Ron ever need anything, like it's done, man. Or like he always show love to me. Like that's crazy. Even when he was at the peak of his career, like he showed love to everybody. Like yo, like that's different. All these NBA players normally fake or you know what I'm saying. Like but like nah, man. Y'all family, salute, bro, for real.
Thanks, man. Hey, man, that's really dope, man. I appreciate that, man. You got to come on the show, man. You know what I'm saying? So we can talk some hoops. You know what I mean? I really respect that, man, from you, man.
Hey, y'all, is LeBron the bubble? He got 12 points,
man. Hey. Bubble LeBron, the worst player of all time.
He's still in. Hey, yo, where's my guy, Bron? Hey, yo.
Depoy LeBron.
We were talking at the top of the show about LeBron in the season opener. Clippers had 18. I was like, that's the worst game he's played in a while, and he's going to struggle. He needs some work. He's going to work to get to 18.
Yo, bro, like Bron, everything is so mental with him. Like he hasn't checked into this game. You saw his body language. Everything is so mental. Like even if the Lakers win, this was Anthony Davis putting on the show. But like I don't know. I don't know, man. He has to get in his own head, bro. Bron definitely gets in his own head. And don't get me wrong, like a guy like that, even a bad game, he's playing good basketball. But like I don't know what y'all think. Like he gets in his like 12 points, 10 rebounds. Like Bron, you're not a role player. Like that's a good stat line for Rondo. Like,
what's the stat line? 12 points. What?
He's trying to get a triple double. 12, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, look.
12,
10, and 7 assists. 7 assists, Scoop. So he's gonna get a triple double. You know, LeBron can walk into a triple double. You know,
Is that the long defense? I haven't watched a second of this game. I've been in here with you guys.
He's-
Is it long
he's-
defenders or?
he looks like he doesn't even want the basketball certain times. He's not even aggressive with the ball right now, but like he's defending well, he's rebounding well, but like it looks like he doesn't want the basketball in a couple moments. Like Deion Waiters is hitting shots, they're kind of grinding back in the game.
This reminds me of Christmas.
Yeah,
Christmas
Christmas day one and Christmas. Game one and Christmas. He's just not like it looks like he's checked out, or he's kind of like
When you want LeBron, like you personally want him to go into freight train mode, and you can just tell he doesn't want it, and he's stepping back. It can be like, as a sports fan, one of the most frustrating things because you know how explosive he can be when he wants to take over a game.
I wonder, he's so smart too. I wonder his psyche. Is he like, I'm not gonna really show him who I am right now? Like, I get it, game when you have nothing to prove, but I don't know. I don't know. That's the biggest gripe with people. LeBron is my GOAT. You know what I'm saying? But like, I try not to judge him on these moments. But like, I wonder the mindset. Like, even if they win the game, is that a huge message to the Clippers? You know, he's really passive aggressive about the way he's doing things, but he's not assertive. Like, you know, credit Kawhi Leonard. He's developed a little bit of a Kobe mentality, right? Like he got 26 points, but he was gonna get them shots up. Like he was shooting 30%, but Kawhi been getting his shots up. Like that's the one gripe they may want to say on Kawhi. So hold on, let's look at Kawhi. Fellas, Kawhi got 25 points on 16 field goals, 7 for 16. But he's taking 16 shots. Look at LeBron. LeBron has taken. LeBron took 16 shots.
He was 4 for 16, something like that.
4 for 16, yo. 4 for 16.
Can't have it.
Like, let me give you a little bit of contrarian spin on that, though. From like a Lakers standpoint, is LeBron plays like crap. The Clippers are like second or third best team in the league, and the Lakers are still going to win the game.
And well, there's no Lou, there's no Trez, but that's a really positive sign because Scoop, we talked about this. And I don't know how you guys feel. I always felt like the Lakers have now, obviously, to the NBA Finals, it may be a different tune. But the Lakers have no chance if LeBron doesn't play well. They've been backed against the wall, but Deion Waiters showed up. Anthony Davis, hit some timely shots. Kuzma's kind of playing the hustle game, but like, I could see a scenario where LeBron didn't play well, and this team had success, and you're.
Where you at, House?
Ryan look like he's in a Bed Bath and Beyond. That's your house?
Oh God!
There you go.
Hey guys.
Watch out, guys. Hold on. Watch out, guys.
I got 4 of them, so I understand, man.
Another way to look at that, though, on LeBron against the Clippers is like this stat line is going to be pretty similar to what he was in the opener. The Lakers lost the opener by 10 points, and they got to hold on here, but they're probably going to win. I get the Clippers have missed a couple points, but that's. I'm not selling any Lakers stock based on LeBron tonight. I don't.
Do we agree this is a Western Conference Finals preview?
Has to be. Who else?
Yeah,
Like there's you guys know when you play pickup ball and there's two courts, and like sometimes you get the ballless court and then you got like the fun court on the side, like
Yeah, where do you think I'm
like
at, Ryan?
You know, this is like the ballless court. Like,
What you got, Hollis?
It's a
Yeah.
you
personal
want to
attack.
go over to the fun court, you know?
Oh man.
What you got, Hollis?
Ryan, what are you eating? That looks delicious.
I got it's a vegetarian patty.
Yeah, I know.
But like I would take this patty over real meat any day, man. Like I'm hooked.
What's in the veggie patty that makes it so good? What kind of veggie patty is it?
You can't tell me it's not meat.
Okay.
I think it's the Beyond Meat one I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like you can't tell me it's not meat. Like you know
can't,
what I'm saying?
you
Like
can't taste
like,
it, man. You can't taste
Yeah,
the
yeah. That's the only. I'm on the face.
It looks really, really good. Yeah.
My wife is good about what she does, you know. So you know that may be a piece of it.
It's not just the burger; it's the presentation from here. It just looks like it came from like you took it, it DoorDashed, man. It's beautiful. Stop, that's not fair, man.
That looks really good.
It's midnight on the East Coast. I'm gonna get myself in big trouble here.
Right after the
You know,
Lakers.
the burger, you feel like you ate a burger after you have a burger.
Yeah.
Mine says I eat a burger, and then I'm like, I'm cool.
Yeah, it bleeds. You
Okay,
bite
so
it.
Hold on. So LeBron is guarding Kawhi. Okay.
Oh, LeBron. Oh,
Yo,
big Bron.
Yo, LeBron just grabbed Kawhi. He just grabbed, and he's arguing the call.
Ryan,
I miss basketball.
Brian and Daniel, answer me this. If LeBron doesn't win a ring in a Lakers jersey, does it affect his legacy? And is there a pressure for him to win this year after Kobe's death?
There's absolute pressure, I would have to say, because right, like, come on, D, like, what would Ron do right now if he was playing basketball and Kobe passed away? He'd be trying to, man, what? Right?
Yeah, I mean, but do you think they should put that? Should they use Kobe's death as a reason to try to win the championship? Though, you think they should do that?
Man.
Like,
I think the best thing was, I liken it to this. I think the quarantine helped distract everybody from Kobe, because everybody was on Kobe, and I don't say it in a bad way. I said is you can honor him, but now you can get yourself back together. I played the day that my dad died, and I wanted to have 50 points in a basketball game. I wanted to have the game of my life, and I was horrible. I was horrible. So when you have so much emotion and you want it so bad, it doesn't work out. So I think there's enough distraction with the bubble and Corona and all that to where they're still playing for Kobe Bryant, but they know there's other things on their minds right now, and you can just get back to basketball. But when you want something so bad for someone you love, it doesn't always work out. Yo, LeBron just out there hacking, yo. Yo, LeBron is out there hacking.
When we first started talking about LeBron, he was on the bench, so now he's back in there, and we'll see what he can do.
Yo, Daniel, you talked about Layla Ali and your connection there.
yeah.
Do you see Layla Ali and Clarissa Shields fighting?
Huh?
Oh man, I think Layla Ali should just. I like Clarissa Shields. She's dope. I think that she has the youth advantage over Layla. Layla obviously, has more ring experience than Clarissa, but shoot, Layla haven't fought in years. I don't know how that's going to be, but I think Layla said that they got to take the right bag to get her out. I think if they do fight, I think it'll be an interesting fight. I don't know if it's gonna be like somebody's gonna get stopped. I think it might just go the whole way and stuff, because we never really seen Clarissa Shields fight anybody really really good. She's just been dominating. So I just want to, it could be interesting. Who knows? I really don't know.
That's real.
When's the last time Layla Ali stepped in a ring against in a formal competition?
That's a good question.
It can't be in the last 10 years, right?
Man, hey.
I mean, the bag would have to be crazy for me to step in the ring with Clarissa Shields.
And she whooped your ass.
She would put me in the ground. Layla Ali's got, listen, she's very beautiful. She got, she's in her 40s. It's dangerous. That's dangerous. This is talking about an elite athlete, an Olympic athlete. I'll be scared. I'm scared of being a Clarissa Shields gonna hit, man.
She
I
retired-
want her to take a solid fight more than anybody. That's the boxer that I want to see fight as much. You know, my two favorite boxers right now are her and Lomachenko. Neither of them are really fighting.
burger up, brother.
What?
I said, Ryan, you were tearing that burger up.
Yo,
Limb from limb. My goodness.
Watering. That's the best thing that's been on this. Well, one of the best. We've had a really good show here, Scoop.
Wow,
This is
Silk the Shocker is going to finish second behind an Impossible Burger.
So,
Oh my God! Don't let him hear it.
no, the Big Burger is the top 4 moment from this.
imagine unlimited burgers that don't make you fat, fellas.
yo,
It's so good.
so
My bad, Scoop. Yo, my bad, Scoop.
no, you
Yo.
good.
Yo, Ben, my bad, bro.
Oh my God, that thing is so delicious. Please send it.
It's ridiculous.
Onions, yo. It's the grilled onions.
Yo, when we come back outside, I'm coming to Ryan's house, and I want to get the recipe from your wife.
Hey,
Ryan,
LeBron is forcing Kawhi to his left hand.
Get up. Jackie, I gotta go get something.
Yo, LeBron is exposing Kawhi.
Yo,
He's sending Kawhi to his left hand. Kawhi don't want to go.
He's putting the film out.
He's not going to get the triple double, guys. He's going to come. He might come 3 assists short. He's definitely not going to get the triple double.
Y'all be tough.
Daniel, let me ask you something. When you were talking about the Kings and Summer League, and they want to sign you, and you were talking about how you were like, did Ron like involved somehow? How does that affect you mentally? And how do you feel? Because there's a lot of situations like that where, you know, J.R. Smith went to the Knicks, and I believe Chris Smith went to the G League team, and you got
Chris Smith was on the Knicks, bro.
yeah, he full roster, and I think Thanasis Antetokounmpo is the 15th man on the Bucks. So how do you reconcile that, and how do you feel about that situation going on in the league right now?
Well, Thanasis is different. He was in the NBA before his brother got there. He was there a year before Greek Freak got there. Chris Smith, I think Chris is my man. I don't know the situation. I don't know if it was nepotism. I don't know if J.R. Smith was like, I'll take a pay cut if you just sign my brother and stuff like that. Now, that's what I wish Meta would have did. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You give me 2 years, 2.5. You know what I'm saying? We good. Nah, but you know what? To be honest, growing up in the same house as him, it was tough because, you know, I'm one of 10 kids, and you know, it was a lot of attention, you know, diverted to Ron once Ron started coming up. Ron went to a 5-star camp one year, came back like top 5 in the nation or something like that, you know, and it was hard when all the attention was on him while he was in high school. I'm in junior high school. You know, I came in the house one time. I scored 66 points as 13 years old, and just like nobody cared. You know what I mean? So that was kind of tough. So I used to have some resentment towards my brother because of that, you know, and towards my parents too. You know, back then because of, you know, the lack of, I felt like, you know, the lack of love or whatever. Although that's what I thought. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So once I realized that wasn't the case, and then, you know, Ron started bringing me along to everything, then, you know, I seen what it was. But, yeah, it definitely took its toll on me mentally.
Chris, give me a napkin, Chris.
Definitely. You know, even sometimes to this day, sometimes I still feel the effects of it because, you know, people will greet me. They'll come up to me and shake my hand like, hey, how's your brother doing? Not, hey, Daniel, how you doing? You know, or if I'm walking past people know me, but they be like, yo, they'll just like, yo, that's Ron Artest's brother. You know what I mean? But they know me. They know Daniel. They know me. So I'm still dealing with the, you know, residual effects from that or whatever. So like, you know, I just decided to just get away. That's why nobody see me no more. I moved all the way down south to Charleston, South Carolina, where nobody at, like nobody knows me and nothing like that. I can just be myself and just, you know, be in my happy space or whatever.
That's why I'm careful with you when I write stuff.
Yeah.
About how I'll call you first, and Ryan will tell you just because I know what Ryan's trying to do. I don't give everybody that courtesy, but I try to call before I put something out with a headline, just because I know what y'all are building. I know Ryan, you know, is a guy that was a role player. You know what I'm saying? And like when we had that whole LeBron Kyrie thing, that thing hit. It hit TV, but at the same time, you still got to go with the social aspect of certain things. There's certain things I can't write, but there's certain things I pass off. Same with you. I'll call you because Yeah, it's easy to put Ron Artest or Meta World Peace's brother in the headline because of my move, but you're a person too.
Yeah. And,
Hey, Scoop,
As such.
I got that certified even more, by the way.
What you mean?
The Kyrie LeBron. For leadership. I got that certified even more.
You mean you heard something?
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of just further was like, yeah, LeBron was a poor leader in Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah, he was.
Can you speak on it more or no?
I'll just say, like, he had a lot of poor things that he was doing. He wasn't stepping to the forefront as a leader, you know? So, you know, like when I said, I felt my opinion, as we stated, and you even put it like that, it was just now LeBron is in such a light that nobody wants to hear anything real. I don't even want to say negative, just anything real about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, is he that leader now? No, I think he's definitely grown. But at that time, there were some things he was doing that people just weren't agreeing with, you know? But you can't come out as a former teammate and say that, you know?
Yeah. But, you know, hey, I blame Cleveland for it because Cleveland just gave him the whole entire keys to the franchise and let him do what he wants. You're not doing that in L.A. Like, Kobe didn't even have that power in L.A. to do what he wanted. Shaq didn't. You know what I mean? The only one you can say is Magic. Magic probably the only one that could do what he want. You know,
they shipped D'Angelo Russell for getting too comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, that definitely helped him mature. And you can definitely say it definitely helped him mature because he went to that situation. He went to LA realizing like, hey, you're not going to be able to do what you want to do. So, you know what I mean?
I think developing in LA is completely different than developing in like New York, even though they're both major cities. In LA, there's too much fame and there's too much glamour and there's too much elevation. New York, you can still kind of be like you can still take the subway. Like you can be a regular person a little bit and you got to like live your life a little bit more manually. You know, like you got to walk places. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching here. I just think LA is a tough place to be young. You know what I mean? No.
101.98 with 40 points.
I'm glad I didn't play in LA when I was early in my career.
You what?
I'm glad I didn't play in LA early in
That's
my career.
what I
wouldn't have
thought.
been able to handle it.
That's what I thought. Speak on it. That's for sure.
I wouldn't have been able to handle it.
Does anybody on this show right now actually have a live video feed? Because I have
Yeah, Paul George, I'm not live, so don't say nothing. I'm not even looking at Paul
My
George
vid-
just hit it.
my video.
Paul George just tied the game.
I won't spoil anything for you. I know what's
Wow! Okay.
into this a damn exciting end to this game.
All right,
Like-
all right, LeBron. All right.
I got the
Hey,
plays
all right,
plays
LeBron.
updated from the score.
Yeah, this is a damn.
Mine is delayed, so I don't want y'all to start saying stuff. So
Oh.
I know if I say it, it's happened already.
Yeah,
LeBron,
you just
LeBron
framed.
forced his way to the hole, missed it, and put it back in to go up.
That's the LeBron we like. and
LeBron is-
love.
I'm just tweeting.
Hey, all is forgiven. All is forgiven, right? All
we'll
is
see what happens
forgiven.
in the next possession. The game, we still got it. Lakers need to stop here. Well, just take
Hey, hey, Scoop.
biggest Captain Obvious,
Hey,
right?
Scoop.
Shit, man.
Hey, Scoop, I'm waiting to see you at one of these games as the virtual guys.
The devil is a liar.
I want to see a scoop on hoop screens.
Dude, this game is a really good game. If we hadn't already been on the air for more than 3 hours, I feel like we should do you want to do like a 2-hour post game special?
Absolutely.
6 hour show?
Does that look weird to you when you see these like these heads in the background just like moving around?
Nah.
No.
Ryan, somebody said in the comments, I thought Ryan Hollins worked for ESPN. How the mighty have fallen.
All I want to know is like, yo, I didn't know I was getting paid to do this. This is work. Hey, I'll take a paycheck, Scoop. I didn't know you were throwing out the paychecks. Hey,
I'm gonna talk to the man up top.
Nobody is.
I thought it was Ryan's first gig as Impossible Burger spokesman influencer.
You get to
I didn't know. Hey, Scoop, I didn't know I was getting paid. Yeah, hey.
plug whatever you want to plug. We let Rick plug his Boom Sports
Hey,
product.
why LeBron with the game on the line? Oh,
LeBron, RPG.
Okay, defense, LeBron. All right, LeBron certified himself.
There it
He
is.
just guarded PG, and he guarded Kawhi on the final possessions.
Mm.
Ooh,
Somebody
they
said-
he ain't
I
won
love
it.
that.
All
Somebody,
is forgiven, King James.
I'm gonna watch. Now I have the
Forgiven.
final possession up on my
Go!
video feed here. This is freaking good basketball.
We deserve it. We've been without for so long.
Is he exposing Kawhi, forcing him to his left hand?
somebody said, one of my followers said he's inviting Kawhi to go left and is making Kawhi look mediocre.
That's gross.
Is he
Right.
exposing Kawhi?
Right. Somebody told LeBron that Ryan had called him out on this show because LeBron won that game in the last 30 seconds. Like,
I'm really
Oh, wow.
glad this was an awesome back and forth game. It sets me up to get hyped for Magic Nets at 2:30 in the afternoon tomorrow.
by the way, if you did bet it, if you got the Lakers plus 2 or whatever, then you won your
Cash
bet.
it, Ben.
But if you got,
Cash it.
but if you got
King
your regular
James.
line,
Kim
you,
James did not disappoint. All right.
no, if
Hey.
you bet a regular line, if you bet the Clippers in the under, then you won it. Then
I was
you-
thinking about taking the Clippers and then just trying to middle it, but it just felt super degen at that point.
This was a really, really good game, and LeBron played kind of like crap. But then the last minute,
His defense was good, so it evens out.
I just think if you were getting Paul George and Kawhi and Lou Williams on the court at the same time for the final possession, ball movement should be, and plus Doc Rivers should be better than wherever you can put LeBron at one point in time, right? To me, that's just math. There's more good shooters.
The Clippers are really struggling to execute with Kawhi Leonard and PG on the floor. That was a really bad possession.
Yeah.
It doesn't look fluid. Kawhi's probably like, yo, give me the ball and get out the way. It did not look fluid.
Well, that's kind of Paul George's thing too, right? When he gets hot.
They're struggling to execute.
Good D, LeBron. Good defense.
It's tough.
that was. We got our money's worth watching that for that last 40 seconds of the game.
Yeah.
I mean,
And Ryan tore up that burger.
There's another one coming, Scoop.
My God.
eating that burger and watching that last minute of basketball is like it's hard to beat.
It's a pinnacle.
That's hard to beat. All right, Scoop, you're running the show here. How much longer do you want to stay on? We came on 15 minutes before tip. We're north of 3 hours 20 minutes. How many?
Yo, is Paul George still playoff P?
He was never play. It's the most absurd nickname forever. Ever.
Daniel?
Rick says he never was in first place.
No.
That was the play that won the game.
No.
Ryan?
No, he's not playoff P.
TBD, to be determined. Because if he goes off, you can't really judge guys. That Thunder, I can't pinpoint what was going on with that Thunder team, but that was a debacle. So he couldn't be playoff P. Everybody was something in Oklahoma City was bad with him, Melo, and Westbrook. So now that he's with the Clippers, if he shows up, we'll say he's playoff P. But I'm going to fairly judge him of what he does here in LA, because something in the air in OKC, man, that was just a bad deal, bro.
Well, Ryan, let me ask you something. Was Chauncey Billups' nickname Mr. Big Shot before he hit any big shots?
Ben, you got me, bro. Yo,
It's all good. It's the only thing I'll hit all night. It's fine.
yo,
I
Ben,
just
you
think
got
like,
me, bro.
Rick, that was Rick. Give Rick the credit for that.
I'll get my
Oh, my bad, Rick.
Yeah.
I see you. My bad.
I like
Hey,
Paul
Rick.
George. I think he's an absolute monster. The self-appointed nicknames forever to me are just crazy.
I just
Like-
want to point out, like, this is just me literally watching
Hello.
here and saying what I'm like
What's up, franchise?
TV.
Yo, one of my followers just said, I'm glad the world can see Kawhi for what he is. Rudy Gay with VC.
Nah.
You
Rudy Gay. Big Rudy Gay. Don't nobody besmirch Rudy Gay. We're up to we're up to north of 300 viewers here.
Scoop, your followers are absolutely they are knives out, man.
Scoop,
That is
what are you
insane.
doing, Scoop?
What you mean?
I swear to God, Scoop just has things going like a mastermind. Like you don't like. Oh, don't worry. You're on Bleacher Report the next day. Hey, what? Hey, let's have a 5-minute conversation. Your phone.
Yeah, that's a lot of views, man. Almost 300 views. That's crazy, man.
Make it already or no?
The Scoop effect.
Because it's y'all test MS. That's why. It ain't me.
Yeah.
No, we
Two tweets.
gotta get our test family on board here with what we're doing this season. No, but like the PG thing and also LeBron, like let's just say what happened. The last 40 seconds of this game, it's a tie game. LeBron has the ball. He drives in the lane, misses. Easily gets his own rebound, puts it back. The other end, he forces Kawhi to give it up. But then with PG has the ball, and LeBron chases him out to the freaking half-court line.
Superhuman.
LeBron, PG gets the ball, and he's at the around the 3-point line. And as the clock is ticking down, LeBron forces him to take like 7 steps backward in 2 seconds, and he has no chance to get a shot off.
Yeah, hit the 400 mark. That's crazy.
That's pretty damn good. Meta World Peace tweet something out again.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
But this is bigger. This is the biggest surge. Earlier, we were getting like 200 people from it.
Yeah, you know, it's just how it is, man.
This
You know,
is the after party.
This is
Absolutely. Yeah. Now there's no game to watch. Now we can get and compare Kawhi to Rudy Gay in the comments. I'm going to stare at the ceiling thinking about it.
VC, that is dope.
I never,
So mean.
LeBron
It's
straight
so
up
mean.
disrespected Kawhi.
It's
He
a
straight up
comp with
disrespected him and said, "Go left, dog." Okay,
just
bro.
yelled it.
Bron been
There's no
watching this
mics.
film.
Yeah, there's no crowd. Just yell it.
all right. What else? So I mean, man, I was thinking we've been on for 3 hours. We're getting ready to wrap, but now you got big viewership. You got to keep people here.
Yo,
Yeah.
Brian. One of my friends texted me and asked me to ask you, do you agree with Royce White's thoughts on LeBron James?
And Royce is my guy too. What did Royce say? Was he militant? What did he say?
I don't know. I'm about to tell you in a minute.
My guy Royce be wild, yo.
He is. He slams. I guess what he said about Carmelo Anthony last year about how he felt that Carmelo was absolutely being blackballed, and that LeBron should have spoken up more as it related to Melo getting on the list.
It don't work. It doesn't work like that, bro. Like the NBA doesn't work like that. And maybe Carmelo wasn't the player to win a championship with. Like he didn't go out and get Chris Paul either, and that's his guy. Like so I think like yeah, LeBron has power to do some things. Of course he does, but there's an extent where he, you know, to me, I actually credit for LeBron because I feel like he chilled from kind of like the Cleveland, like, oh, I'm bringing my James Joneses, my Mike Millers, and all those guys. Like, he kind of chilled back from that. I think that was really the frustration with Magic Johnson. And when he kind of got thrown under the bus, was like, yo, like, I set this platform and took heat for LeBron to be LeBron. And LeBron stepped back, you know, and I have conversations with his people. So, could he have spoken up for certain people? Yeah. Do you want to get people familiar with him? But the Lakers ain't even hire Ty Lue. Like they're like, yo, look, like, bro, we doing what we want. You know what I'm saying? Do you have some input? Yeah, but hey, like, dog, go play basketball. And that was really part of the deal because LeBron wanted to shake that rep of Coach LeBron, General Manager LeBron, and all that. So I think, you know, I love Royce, but Royce, you know, Royce is such a baller, but he didn't get the NBA experience that I thought, you know, he'll say he's accountable for, you know, for some, you know, for certain reasons, you know. So I think, you know, it's always easier to look from the outside in and have certain opinions. But I love Royce. He's a good dude. But I think just some of those perspectives may come off.
That's real.
The LeBron shadow commissioner is like one of the weakest arguments in sports to me. It just seems like it just stems from LeBron hate.
Yeah, and like make no mistake, like when James Jones gets to follow you from Miami, like those, like that is a thing. Like people take note to that, you know.
Oh yeah, I
But
think
at the same time, like he not playing with us, or like Dwayne Wade. Like all right, Dwayne Wade got to come along, but like he wasn't playing with Chris Paul. Like he wasn't playing with, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's his boy. That's his boy. Like, and he probably could have had him in LA. But LeBron knows him and Chris Paul not going to probably work.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Carmelo probably not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not going to be able to have those conversations with Carmelo and like, hey, Melo, you coming off the bench, bro? Like, bro,
Right.
like Melo, that's not going to work. Like Melo's going to be competing with Bron. That was never going to work.
I agree with that.
Sometimes you
100%.
can't do sometimes you can't do business with your family. I love you, but we can't work together.
Big, what did he say? Keep family and business completely separated. That's in the 10 Commandments.
Completely separate.
Money and
Almost
blood
ruined
don't
my
mix, like two
relationship
chicks and no,
over who got more shot attempts. You know?
Word. Yep.
I thought the Dwight Howard signing was like, yeah, LeBron's not really running this team. I thought to me that was just a kind of a front office move that just.
But he just didn't have. When it was all said and done, they had to sit with Rondo, and some other guys to get like certain OGs that had say. LeBron is briefed on all that stuff.
Yeah,
Stars are always briefed on stuff.
yeah, definitely,
Just don't always have the. Michael Jordan had final say.
for sure.
No, he did. Where? Where
And the
Michael Jordan
Lakers
have
went
finals there?
bringing somebody that LeBron just had real beef with. Well, yeah, apparently Michael didn't have to say we thought he had, right?
I think we seen the Last Dance. He ain't had no say. They probably,
Fact.
Jerry, what's his name? Jerry Reinsdorf chose Jerry Krause over winning 4 or 5 more championships in a row.
It's embarrassing.
A potential 2000, a potential year 2000 Lakers Bulls championship, or maybe Lakers Spurs. Like Jerry Reinsdorf chose that. I think Jerry Reinsdorf is the worst. If anybody that had like the worst ranking, I think I'd give it to Jerry Reinsdorf. He should have just stepped in and said something. He didn't do nothing.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Your brother played for the Bulls when Reinsdorf was there.
Yeah, Krause and Reinsdorf, yeah.
Did you have any dealings with Jerry Reinsdorf?
Yo, Reinsdorf was mad cool. I was young. I was 16 when Ron got drafted. So like Krause was cool. He let me use the gym whenever I wanted to use the gym. Like I had a lot of access in Berto, so I was cool. I was living it. I was loving it.
Did you have
Hey,
any
D.
dealings with Jerry
Hey, D.
Krause?
Yeah,
Hey, D, I gotta ask you something, yo.
yeah.
I'm gonna expose this. Scoop,
Do you
you gonna
think?
love Ron's podcast on when he came on the podcast, the stuff he says, because he's just being Ron. But I gotta ask you, D, honest to God truth.
Go ahead.
Tell the truth, bro, for the people.
Yes.
Were you at the Celine Dion concert with him?
No, I wasn't there, man. I missed it, man. Yo, he was crying though.
What?
He was crying. Like, let me tell you something. We love Celine Dion in our Artest family, y'all. We love Celine Dion, everybody. Yes, we do. So he was like, he cried. But then he had all his peoples from Queensbridge in the photo with Celine Dion. With yeah.
That photo's priceless.
Yo, he had the thugs with Celine Dion and had Celine Dion taking jail poses in the pictures.
I need it.
You got Celine Dion like this.
Just so y'all know, make sure y'all see the podcast. That's just a teaser. That story right there is just a teaser. That story right there is just a teaser of where we went.
Yo,
Hey,
we
I
had-
just had to know if you was there, yo. He didn't call you out, but he he said it the word for word what you just said, word for word.
Yo,
Can I? I'm gonna do Ron. Ron was like, "Yo, son, yo, man, finally got to meet Celine Dion, son. Yo, son, niggas was crying."
Oh my god, this picture, man. I can't stop thinking about this picture. Celine Dion posted up in the middle.
Yo, like this.
Where can we find this picture? Is it published somewhere?
Personal.
Okay.
I'll get it.
It's along the stairs when you're going up the stairs in the
One of the dudes that took this, don't laugh. Well, actually laugh at this. The funniest thing is this. One of the dudes that was in the picture with Celine Dion, he washes cars in Queensbridge now for a living, man. Like, yo, you chilling with a hand car wash, Celine Dion? Like, you know what I'm saying? You was around some goons. Some
I
drug
don't
dealers.
know what's funny. This or when Ron made Craig Sager yell, say Queensbridge.
The Celine Dion one was better, man. The Celine Dion one was better.
Oh man.
All right, I didn't expect the Celine Dion story.
I give you the origin of it though. Well, it was basically Ron started falling in love with the after the Titanic movie came out because the whole soundtrack. We in the movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ron gonna be so mad too. We in the movies, right? And then like the scene when the baby was in the water and stuff like that whole water scene. This was like, yo, man, the baby's in the water. Yo, like, son. Crying, bawling, like bawling. Like the song come on. And when Celine Dion hit that crescendo, love you know, felt it at the end. He felt it at the end. Like every time Rose was running back the jacket, that was his emotional moment right there. I'm telling y'all, man.
Incredible. Incredible.
Hey, Rick over here going crazy.
What up, buddy?
Crying, man.
Just know,
Incredible.
just know there were so many moments in the podcast where like my mouth was like this.
Well,
and he's
tease
telling
it.
these stories, and I was like,
Yo, Ben,
What's up?
as my editor,
Yeah.
we got a lot of shit on here that's gonna like hit the blogs like crazy.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We,
just save it for the pod. Make sure you just tag opinionated 7-footers because I think I've heard that before, but just him telling it like there's
wait,
so
no,
much
what's
on
this, Brian? This pod with Ron, the pod has dropped yet, or it hasn't dropped?
there. We didn't drop it yet.
When is it going to drop? Plug the pod.
Opinionated 7-footers. We just dropped Jared Dudley today because the rivalry.
Yeah.
We also just dropped Deion Sanders. That's the best. That's my best experience that I've ever had in broadcasting. That's the best time I've ever had in broadcasting by far. The best thing I've ever been a part of in my entire life, broadcasting wise. And we don't have a date for Ron because we got so many piled up. Like we like Bad Boy. We just coming off with hit after hit, man.
Ryan, stop lying. Let's be real. Ron going to spin and make y'all wait. X versus X, this X versus that. I could do it now. I could do it later. I'll do it later. Come on.
No, he did it. No, he did it. We just didn't put it out yet. We shouted at XBX. So don't trip. XBX shouted out.
Yo, because like you listen, I got like 71 episodes on my podcast. You know what I'm saying? Ron only been on one, yo.
Oh no.
When y'all talked about homicide.
Hey y'all, but I gotta get out of here because I gotta shoot this little video for the network real quick, man.
Ryan, good job. Thanks for coming on. Again,
Hey, y'all know any time, man. You already know, Scoop.
All right, man. I'll speak to you soon, Ryan.
All right, y'all. Hey, D, you already know, bro. Hey,
right,
hey,
definitely.
D, how hard did you hit little Ron in the chest, bro?
Very hard.
Yo, he said
making shoulder touch over here.
his uncle, and then he had to get up and like no crying, like
Yeah, don't cry. You cry, you get hit. You get hit.
that's
you
the thing. Ron Jr. may not his skill levels isn't there yet, his athleticism, but like no one's gonna punk him. Like he knows what that Artest name means. Like Ron be out there laying bodies.
Let me ask you a question before you go, though, Ryan. Let me ask you a question. So, how was it like? Describe your experience playing against Ron.
It was wild. Like I didn't catch him in his prime. Like against him, like I caught him with the Lakers, and he was a bull. And he was one of those guys. Like you had a red flag. Like don't foul him hard don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like keep everything tasteful. Like he was almost like team security because he was like, yo, like if you get out of line, like you gonna have to see him. Like chill, like you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it was wild. Like I took a charge on Ron one time, they called a block, and like Ron's on the foul line asking me, it's a video of it, like, hey, like, no, that was a block. He was like, were you there on time? Tell me, like, when Ron wants information, he doesn't care where it is. And he's asking me, was I there on time? Did I take a charge? And he's just asking me in the middle of the game, like, hey, like, that's who he is. But like, he's so genuine. That's the thing about it. But like on the other team, it was like, yo, like, don't pop off with the Lakers because he's like, it could go down, okay? You know, like, you know, Ron had the rep at that time. It was like, hey, like he could beat you with a shot, or he might shoot that thing over the backboard. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like, just know he will shoot the ball. You know, certain dudes are scared to shoot. They got to play in the offense. Like Ron is gonna hoop. He's gonna be himself. You know, so I think that's the respect was always there, but you just knew. You know, you knew he was going to be himself, and he's not afraid to take a big shot and hit a big shot. You know.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. That's just Ron. You know, Ron always played in the trenches growing up. You know what I'm saying? So that's where he pretty much gets that from. You know, playing in Rucker Park back in the '90s when it mattered. You know, playing and also Ron was playing street ball every year when he made it to the NBA all the way up until about 2013. He was back and forth playing summer basketball outside, indoors every year. Like that's just how he is, man.
Bro,
He's a lifer.
We had a play. We saw it on film. He said Ron is going to get the ball on the right block. He's going to turn and go left, and he's going to drive through you, and he's going to score. Normally, when you see scouting reports of people, you're always prepared. It doesn't work out. Ron got the ball, and he took it. It was like a war move. Like you said, street ball. He took Matt Barnes and just moved him across the floor and just laid the ball up. And then did it through. It was like, yo, we saw it on the scouting report, but it's like, yo, do you see how strong he is? Like, he's playing from a different set of rules. Like, yo, he's going left. Boom, layup. Like, yo, like we told you what he was doing.
Now, let me ask you another question before you go. Now, we got a bunch of people in here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has this misconception of Ron as him being crazy. You got to see one side of him when you played against him, and then now y'all hanging out together a lot. You know, playing in X games. Like you and me pretty much know how Ron really is. Can you please just
to me, even when he was at the height of his playing game, like he's that person. If you push him, he's gonna go there with you.
Yeah.
But even at the height of his game, I was playing basketball in the men's gym. I think he just came off a championship or like balling in Houston, and like I went to the hole and I dunked, and I'm like a nobody in the league. I'm a guy off the bench or whatever. And Ron came over to me. He was like, "Hey, you're really good. You work hard. Like I like what you do." And I'm like, "Yo, no, like all-star walks over and compliments me. Like it's never happened before." And it was like, this guy was like really interested in me, like intrigued, like, hey, you can jump really high and you're fast. Like, I like you. And I'm like you're a good player. Like, I'm like, yo, like, and I was like, yo, Ron is not afraid to give you your props. And I think today in society, people are scared to give you your roses or your flowers until too late. And Ron Artest is not going to wait next week. He's not going to wait when he feels your positive energy, he's gonna tell you. He's gonna and he has the humility to always defer to somebody who played what is it, 16, 15 years in the league, coached with the Lakers, has a championship ring. He's not afraid to ask somebody for advice and be like, hey man, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Or he'll be like, yo, how did you do that? Like, I came out of the gym working out. He was like, you just worked out? What did you do? And I'm like, you're Ron Artest. I should be asking you what you're doing. Like, but he's that type of humble, and like he doesn't care what color you are, where you from. Like, if you want to play basketball, you want to have a conversation with him, you can. And like, I tell you this, we played on D. Remember we played on the Big 3 together, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize how big Ron Artest was. because I'm 7 feet tall. And do you know this? Because you big guy too. You walk around. Where do you play? Where do you play? Where do you play? So I'm 7 feet tall. People always Ryan Hollins this, Ryan Hollins that. Me and Ron are walking through the airport. I swear to God, I didn't exist. He had a mob of people walking behind him, following him, asking him. As a matter of fact, I became Ron Artest's cameraman. And I forget what city we're in, but I didn't realize how big he was. Like, you got other NBA players, we can walk through airports, we can do stuff. Ron has a cult following. So for him to still be down to earth like that, it's second to none. But like, I kid you not, imagine a 7-footer. No, it's like, nah, who are you? Hold the camera for me while I take a picture of Ron. And he was just gracious to everybody. And I think like for a guy like that, he'll walk into an airport, he'll do everyday stuff. And you don't understand this. These people go insane over Ron. So it's not just this old washed up guy. Like, he has a love from everywhere because the way he acts. And he just like, you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it because he just shows up and then he gets out, he does his business. But that's the biggest thing with me. What I got to see from him is you don't realize who Ron Artest is, man. You didn't know because he'll never carry himself like that. He would not.
Yeah.
It's the New York in him. You're used to taking the train and being a star. You're a star, but you can still take the train.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not cut like that.
Bro, like I'll put like, you know, like you saw the video, like, yo, when we out here protested and rioting, like Ron was in the protest, like, yo, D, like I'm gonna just put it like this, like Ron was in the protest.
Yo, I seen
like he wasn't just, like on the podium with people, like he was there.
Did you see the cardboard? He had the most cut up cardboard ever. Taped them together, make it look like a box.
Bro, like like everybody else. Like you have to love that dude because you don't see only other person that I think was as genuine as like that I met that was that big, or maybe it was like Allen Iverson. And Allen Iverson would never move the way that Ron moves because probably it may be a security thing. He's gonna have bodyguards. He's gonna have a crew with him. Ron will grow by himself. But as far as just humble and down to earth, AI. When I met AI, it was like, dog, you are genuine.
Yeah.
I played cards with Allen Iverson at a poker table in New Orleans a few years ago, and it was in New Orleans. It was All-Star Week, and like I stayed like till like that Tuesday, and he stayed that long too. And the people who were at the table, like I was sitting next to AI, nobody knew who he was. Like they kind of knew, but they didn't bother him.
That's crazy.
So he had his uncle with him, and that was it. Allen had to go to the bathroom. Allen had to go to I'm editing myself, but basically, Allen had to go to the bathroom, and security walked with him. Security at the casino, and I walked with him. Some said just go, just to make sure he's all right. So we walked back out, go to the poker table, and then it happened. Yo, it's Allen Iverson. He said, "Oh shit, can I?" And then so he's at the table. Yo, can I take a picture? No.
Yeah.
So then he's walking. He's enjoying his night. I'll leave it like that. And he's walking out the casino. He had to take a cab because he just had to get out because everybody was like starting to realize who it was. I've never seen anything like it. To go from kind of not knowing to kind of knowing to, oh shit, it's Allen Iverson.
Yeah, and I think like we were in a smaller airport, so it wasn't like a big venue. You know what I'm saying? But like he was getting chased, like it was different. But like AI is definitely like like Ron is 6'8". He's a much AI can slide in certain places, but before. But like like talking about guys with cult followings, like
Shaq can move like that too.
But like Ron was slick about it to where like Ron would say what's up, but he kept moving. Hey, how you guys doing? All right, D, you already know. He'd say what's up. Hey, how you doing? Hey, you good? Come on, walk with me and take the picture.
Yeah.
But he kept moving. But he had a way of addressing people.
Yeah.
He might have got a marriage proposal in the same night. Yo, I kid you not. Like, he don't care about none of that. None
I
of
don't
it.
care about none
Well,
of that.
shoot,
That's
fellas,
him.
I'm gonna get out because I definitely got to shoot this video.
Mhm.
Scoop, Ben, fellas, nice meeting y'all. You already know. D, you fam already. You know that, bro.
Yes, sir.
Brother.
Yes,
But
sir.
I'm
You
gonna
be
get
safe,
with
man.
y'all, man.
Thanks for hopping on, Ryan.
All right,
I'm-
fellas.
Good stuff. All right. Look,
Man, nice to meet you, man.
One.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
well, we can wind this down. This has been awesome, Scoop. Great job with the guest list. I chimed in with Rick, so I brought for those who are keeping score at home.
No.
Should I read off the scoreboard?
Do it.
We have Mr. Artest, who is responsible for like almost all the viewers to this show. Twitter account. Scoop has brought us like an A-list rapper, a former NBA player, a starter on a Final Four college basketball team, and I brought my boy Frederick Rosen.
Rouse.
Yo, we've been on so long. I forgot Chuck Bryant was here. That was fire.
Oh, Truck Bryant, like literally, Truck Bryant was here like 3 hours ago. That's how.
It's insane.
I'm not even exaggerating. That's how long we've been on.
I need this audio and video, by the way, y'all. Just to let y'all know.
What happened?
I need this video and audio for tonight.
Scoop,
This is
you were
amazing.
honest to God, Scoop. But like, I'm gonna finish my beer and then go to sleep pretty shortly here. Maybe watch the end of the post game. But like, we actually should, if we're gonna do more of these. This is like, you're totally right. It's a treasure trove of content. We need to have someone. If any of our viewers here want to do this, we need someone to like be transcribing and writing during this stuff, because this is like, I mean, we're talking about Celine Dion.
I have a timestamp for Celine Dion. That's it.
I mean, like
Because I mean,
Celine Dion. I mean, what more do you want?
I think my Silk the Shocker question with the Cash Money versus No Limit was a really good question. I never heard nobody ask that question.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
great.
I think I took Scoop B question from him, man.
No, he said you might collaborate.
Journal.
I think
Journalize them.
he was open to it.
That was a good one.
So those are the highlights.
And he said it's not a never.
Yo, he was open to that. Like, yeah, the Truck Bryant spot was 3 hours ago. I have more appreciation for that 2010 West Virginia team that had 3 NBA players in the lineup.
Devin Ebanks from Queensbridge too, by the way.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. No, he was the best. I don't know if he's the best. He was the leading scorer on that team. I think that's the case. I don't know if he's the best player. So, and the Lakers win. We talked about LeBron putting the clamps on Kawhi and PG late. We talked about Mark Jackson. We talked about a lot of stuff. So, look, for everybody watching, the Heavy on Lakers Facebook page is your hub for a lot of this stuff. Facebook.com/Heavy on Lakers. There's a Heavy on Lakers page on the site. The site is heavy.com. The page is, if you go to heavy.com/sports/Los Angeles Lakers, that's your home for Laker coverage.
Somebody said you related to Ron Artest. Nah.
No.
I always tell people no. I'll be like, nah, I mean, Artest is just a familiar name like Williams and Johnson or
Yeah.
whatever. No, I'm not related to Ron. I'm not related to him.
You just happen to be hacking into the Meta World Peace Twitter account and tweeting nonstop links to this Periscope.
Yeah.
So
Can you
anyway,
give you another interesting tidbit about me and Ron, though? That
yeah,
we're
go for it.
not twins, but we share the same birthday.
Get a parting shot.
Yeah.
You said what?
We're not twins, but we share the same birthday.
Is that
Do
true?
you?
What?
Yeah, November 13th. He was
That's
born
crazy.
in 79. I was born in 82 and stuff.
That's
So
right.
yeah.
All
And
right.
shout out to the Heavy, man. Heavy, thank you for having me on the show, man. For real. I really appreciate
Thank you
y'all.
for hanging with us for like 3 hours.
Oh,
Seriously.
anytime. Let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Rick, do you want to plug anything on your way out the door? Anything else?
At Play Boom Sports, NBC Sports Predictor. Keep listening for more stuff. This was awesome. This was a ton of fun. And if you had the game alongside, you learned a lot. You had people to talk to during the game. You got to you got to be really mean to Kawhi Leonard going to his left. Scoop's got some absolute savages in his chat. Those comments are mean.
Okay,
Overall, it was a good time.
Scoop, bring us home. You have the last word.
No, you could have been anywhere in the world. You're here with us. I appreciate that, Ben. I don't think we could have sat for 3 hours and talked 4 hours for the whole time. Because I think having a bunch of people come in to bring different insights made it so much better. All we had to do was guide it.
Mm-hmm.
Our ratings would have been terrible if it was just you and me. It would have been okay, but we wouldn't have been on for 4 hours. So, look, F the Clippers. All right.
Right. Jesus Christ. Shout out to Lizzie Hayes, too. Thank you for
The last
tuning in.
word.
Thank you for everybody in the Daniel Access podcast group that tuned
He's
in.
Ron's brother. Oh.
on like a funny but kind of like half sort of serious note, like the fact that someone is in there saying F the Clippers, given that it's been 4.5 months since we had basketball, like having people in here like talking trash and like I don't know, I could take or leave the F-bombs, I guess, but like people are in here like getting pumped up about sports.
Nature is healing.
This is good. You know what I mean? Like this is really, really cool. And we'll do more of these. So look, honestly, thank you for everybody who joined us. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. We'll pull short of the 4-hour mark. Scoop, way to go. I'll call you in the morning and we can do a post-mortem on this because this has been great.
Fellas, peace.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right.